is the word they say?
And he's going to be transitional body. That's what Velvet wants, right? Velvet wants him there. And he wrote all of this in his holy book. It's like a word of God. It's like a holy scripture. And it cannot be changed. It cannot be manipulated. Nothing can be happening. What do you think he's suffering from? I would say cognitive dissonance. Hey, go on, Crystal.
So I'm going to turn it over to my colleague here, Dr. Dean.
I'll say about Pahlavi. Okay, you're on point about that. This guy is not what Iran needs. This is the worst. This is worse than IRGC. The reason why Pahlavi is a Zionist. Pahlavi is a Zionist. He's pictured with. It's a very bad look for people who support Pahlavi. He's pictured with a terrorist, Netanyahu, a genocider. He's definitely a terrorist. Terrorists are people who commit acts of violence, including intimidation against the civilian population, pursuit of political, ideological, religious aims. So he fits. Netanyahu's a disgusting, awful human being, a genocider. He's convicted by the ICC and supported.
Do you know the name of the disease that these people are suffering from?
What?
I mean, I don't know. I'm asking. Do you think they're
Pahlaviitis? I don't know what is it.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You could use that. Pahlaviitis.
God. Oh my God. Welcome, Velvet.
Yeah, but I'll finish here. Is that he actually was at the Wailing Wall wearing a yarmulke, not just because Jewish. No, there's many good Jews out there. No. That's not it. Not about Jews. There's Jews who are against with all this madness that's happening, right? But he's shaking hands with Netanyahu. He's having dinner with Netanyahu and his wife. He's kissing the Wailing Wall and doing. He's a Zionist shill, and that's who they want to install in power. America as well, because America, our politicians are bought out by Israel. AIPAC. It's all known. People in America, they're heavily influenced. So many big politicians do not put America first, but they put Israel first.
And are we forgetting what Reza Pahlavi, his dad, was saying as well? He said they control many things. They control the media.
Yeah, well, right now we have Moshtaba Khamenei, who's the son of Khamenei. So any argument against his dad would make, basically, it's just, we wouldn't make any sense. Because we have the son of the previous leader, and now you're saying, oh, but his father. Well, it just doesn't work.
No. But what I'm saying is the man that you do want in power, Reza Pahlavi.
I don't want Pahlavi.
Reza Pahlavi. I think it's Reza Pahlavi, right? Danish?
Reza Pahlavi. Sorry,
I'm
bad at this. So the one that you do want in power, Reza Pahlavi, that people want in power, his dad himself said, Israel control many things. The media, the banks. I can tell you more. He said it himself. We don't have to speculate.
Okay, maybe Reza Pahlavi is being smart. Maybe he's just using the Israelis and Americans to get what he wants. How do you know? Huh? No, really. How do you know he's not being smart? Because Khomeini did it. So how do you know that Reza Pahlavi is not being smart and just using the Israelis?
That's a sellout. That makes it even worse. He's a phony sellout.
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying this assumption that he's definitely like a puppet and he's not being clever or smart about it is also, we can't know. We can't be sure about that.
It's not smart enough. The reason is if Reza Pahlavi sets foot in Iran after, say, the hypothetical that the IRGC has fallen, he still would not survive over a month. Because there's still going to be so many people that want him dead. He's not going to survive there. And for that, he's given up all his future in Iran. So I don't think he's smart.
Okay, so is what you guys are arguing. Sorry, wait. So I understand it.
Quickly, Dash.
Arguing so we should stop fighting because it might end up there. That's what how they.
Just 10 seconds. Pahlavi, he said that because he lives in California, I think Los Angeles. And he said that he doesn't really want to live in Iran if he becomes president. He said he wanted because he said I haven't been there for 40 years and my life has been here. My friends are here in America, California. Maybe I'll spend half the year here, half the year there. He said something like this of this nature. What kind of leader is that?
Well, maybe he wants to form an actual government. He doesn't want the country to continue relying on just one single leader. Maybe it's time for the Iranians to I think actually we made that decision during the Mossadegh era. But
You're laughing in the background, bro. Why are you laughing? Are you smiling while you're speaking?
who? Me?
Yeah, I just heard you. You're just smiling. Why are you smiling?
How can you hear smiling?
You sound like you're trolling. Are you trolling?
I'm not trolling. I'm just challenging what
You're
you're
trolling.
saying.
Trolling.
I'm not a panelist. Sometimes you say the silliest things. You know what?
To talk to you. Just a second. My God. Is this title real?
It's not very accurate, actually. Amir, you should have put Larry Johnny instead, because I think that
Well,
was
he
the
is
highlight of the
basically
day.
begging everyone, so shut up. Okay.
No, but Larry Johnny is dead. I think that was the highlight of the day. No.
I'm not gonna lie though, it's a bit embarrassing from Trump's perspective that he's asking people for like boats on the Strait of Hormuz. You know what I mean? It's just a little, you know what I mean?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's just a
I
little.
think Velvet wanted to speak. We need the
class. Everyone,
we
the
need
leaders
the
out there
Velvet's
is
voice.
gone.
Rights for Velvet, please. Please, nobody call him gay or woman, okay? Don't do that, okay? I'm gonna say this every hour, okay, Velvet? So nobody attacks you. All right.
I don't mind.
No, bro, you
can
don't mind,
tell
Velvet.
girl.
Come on.
You can tell me girlish. You can tell me whatever you want. Just
No. I don't want anybody. I'm against it, Velvet. I don't want anybody calling you girl, unless you want to be called a girl.
Well, soft-spoken. They are not gay. They're soft-spoken.
And you are losers. You are losers, Satara. You are losing because your leader is gone. Let's be honest.
He's not my leader, for fuck's sake.
But he is. But
Just
you know,
wake up.
Do you know?
Wake up! Your country is under attack. Wake up!
there is
You're
under
a loser. You're sitting
You know what
in
you refer to
fucking America or
American
anywhere else, and you are hoping for people to die. You are a fucking loser.
The IRGC wants to continue the war, so if anything, they want
Just
people
stop
to die
it.
also.
You guys,
So do you support the IRGC continuing the war?
He
No, one
says
second. Nobody here is
for
supporting
fun.
war.
He doesn't give a shit.
Sorry.
You know, I just
Okay.
put Donald
Nobody here
Trump.
is supporting war.
Donald Trump comes to
let
run
her
and
rant it
fuck
out,
you.
man.
Yeah, but who is she talking to exactly? Like, who is
She's
she
talking to the
addressing?
room, not you. She's talking to the room, not you. Except for you.
Okay, great.
You're nobody. You're nobody in the room.
You can finish
still
that.
have 0 followers? Oh, you still got 0 followers? Okay, I'll give you a follow. It's okay. I feel bad.
No,
You got
actually,
0, now you got 1.
I don't want to associate myself.
You got one
Nobody's
smart
to be
person to
trusted
follow
in
you.
this one,
I
right?
just follow you.
I don't know. I mean, if you're gonna end up on the Epstein files tomorrow, so I can't
Oh
help you.
my God.
I mean, can
Oh my God.
throw them down? Like, I really need to come here and just feel a little better because nobody fucking makes sense.
You won't feel better because your leader is
Satara, hold on a second, hold on. So, Satara, I used to do this with Brightness as well. So people used to call me out, and then I gave them the reasoning. The reasoning is I use some of these folks as punching bags. Do you understand what a punching bag is? I'll give you an example. I want to do it. This is why I have this room. So not only we talk about the news, we debate on it, and I use some of these people as punching bags because there's people that are sitting in the audience. They can learn, and I'm exposing the Raza Pahlavi position, non-Raza Pahlavi position, the centrist position, so everybody knows that what kind of position some of these people hold, and they're very, crazy positions. You see what I'm saying? And so they can decide, and maybe I can change a couple, and I did change some people's mind, by the way. So then somebody did text me the other day, and they're like, thank you for doing the room. I didn't know about this whole Iran internal thing, and they want this guy in there, and some of these people are cheering. So I want to be able to expose that. Why are these people cheering when their country gets attacked or bombed? And in here, the good thing is we can all stay anonymous. I don't have to know your first and last name. Yeah, you could be Danish or you could be non-Danish, or Danish cookies. We don't know.
Yeah. So Tara, can I ask you a few questions, please?
Can't. You just can't.
What?
Just say,
Hey, what's up, Mo?
ask me a question. I'm not interested.
No, just a few simple questions. Honestly, I'm not trying to antagonize you. I'm not trying to. I'm trying to have a healthy conversation.
Do not try.
Okay. All right. So let's do this, Sitara. Let me ask you this. I know you told me, I think last week or something when you first started coming in here. even you're not for the regime. You agreed, right? Or you said you're okay with it, or you're not for the regime or something,
I'm
right?
not a fan of regime, and I always
Okay,
said.
okay. My question to you: do you have like any type of solutions? Like, let's say, once this so-called war is over, right? I hope it gets resolved as soon as possible. Trump is kind of begging in the back channel for ceasefire because he realized he's messing with somebody that has power over Strait of Hormuz, and it affects the whole world, global market, and related to oil and whatever. So my question to you: once everything is over, and you have people, do you believe in democracy? Do you want democracy inside Iran, Satari?
Just believe that Pahlavi is not a choice for Iran.
No, forget Pahlavi. I'm asking you: do you believe in democracy inside
I
Iran?
don't know. To be honest, I don't know. But what I
Well,
observed,
what
I
democracy
visited
or not?
Hold
Iran.
on, well,
Can you
hold on,
just
please.
shut the fuck up?
You please allow
I
Satari to
swear
speak.
to God.
It's a good sister. Go on,
So
Satari.
the thing is, when they did this Masa Amini movement, after a while, I visited Iran, and Iran is now a different country. Everyone is without hijab. Not everyone. I mean, the people that they wanted to not have hijab, they don't have hijab. I did not myself wear scarf when I went to Iran. I was in the airport, in front of the police, everywhere, did my check-in. I mean, if they slowly do these peaceful movements, they can get some results. But war, this is ridiculous. This is crazy. I am every day worried about my families, and nobody cares. These people are so callous. These people are dangerous for democracy, for society.
No, I got you. But I want to explore this idea. I want to see.
Bro, are you from
Uh,
Palestine?
Hold on. Satara, after the so-called war is over, we're talking about after the so-called war is over, and there are people in Iran, right, that are not happy with the regime, right, with the Islamic Republic of Iran, and there are people that are like in the middle. There are people that support the Islamic Republic of Iran. And what changes would you like to see after the so-called war is over? That way, people inside Iran, they can stay happy and get I'm sure you want to probably you want the sanctions to be removed, right, Satari?
Bro, how do you
And no one
fucking
shut
Hold on, be quiet. Okay. Nobody's asking you. I'll give you last warning if I kick you down, okay?
Yeah,
You stay muted and wait for your turn.
Obviously, we're all hoping for that day that the sanctions are being removed, and no one even they all blame the regime for what's happening, and I get it. We are all bitter. We're all being affected in a way. Maybe not my family. I mean, my mom has money, and she always says, oh yeah, but it's not affecting me. But I always say no, but other people are being affected. Then we have to think about other people. It's not that I'm just saying that, yeah, this regime should just continue with whatever he's doing. But I don't know, maybe the European countries can do something. Maybe they just saw the true face of Trump and what America did and what he's doing to them, and how he just went and without even consulting them with the G7, whatever, remove the sanctions on Russia. Maybe they can also do this to Iran. I just don't know if this is a war against the Iranian regime because it's a Shia country, or it's just because to be honest, I don't know. I have no idea what the war is, why they are resisting.
No, so look, I blame the sanctions. Number one. Number two is the leadership. But the thing is, I'm trying to explore ideas to see, how do you make the people that are living on the land happy? There are people. I don't know the numbers. I don't have the stats. But let's say hypothetically, if majority of them are not happy with the regime for whatever reason, I'm just trying to explore some new ideas. See, if we can come to some sort of new ideas. It will make the room interesting, and they will open up our minds to this new ideas. And plus, we have people in the audience, people up here. they know, about the Iranian issue and whatnot. You know,
Yeah,
they can get
translation is
educated.
just crazy. I'm saying that, yeah, but it's just all because of the sanctions too, and it's just not like they're going to the street and they're being killed. It's not
Well,
fair
but
if you
stop
look
saying
at it
this.
this way.
She said she has problems with the regime. Stop calling people terrorists and this and that. Why do you have to put title
To
over
be
people's head?
honest, Amir, I don't give a damn. I don't
No,
care.
hold on.
I've seen Donald Trump.
Sadala, hang on a second, please. Well, but I told you this, I made this argument multiple times, over and over again. Since their country is getting targeted, attacked, it's under war, whatever, by America and Israel, some people, they do temporary change of position, temporarily, just for like maybe 30 days, 60 days, because they see more and more people are dying. I had somebody in here, I don't know if you know him, Reza. He's a staunch Reza Pahlavi supporter. Do you know, he said, I'm starting to change my position. I might start to change my position because I can't see a lot more people die. So they are, the more people die, it actually, look, you guys should not have done what you have done. Your people that were, protesting with the Israeli flag, the Reza Pahlavi store support, they should not have done that. It actually benefited the regime because by attacking the regime, you're not just attacking the regime, you're attacking the people that live on that land. And the more and more civilians are dying, people are becoming united with the regime. Do you understand that? This is why even Edward was saying this. The brother that comes in is a Palestinian. Rolf said it. A whole bunch of people said it. Even I said that as well. That it's this war. It actually benefits the regime, not benefit. If there was no war, slowly, at one point, people would have rebelled and took down, toppled the regime or whatever. But at this moment, the same thing happened during the last 12-day war. And I gave you a historical fact. In America, during the Iraqi war, it's all of a sudden you had the 9/11 happen. The rating was low for that president, but the rating shot up because what he did, he started attacking countries, one at a time, and his rating went up. Same thing with Netanyahu. People were protesting prior to 7th October, but guess what? All these Israelis, they saw him. Oh, he's a savior. He's gonna protect us. So he took actions. He went into Gaza and committed genocide. With a lot of those people inside that live in Israel, they're genocidal psychopaths. They support him. Whether it's leftists, people on the right, they all sided with him. There's some leftists that come into this room from Israel. I'm sure you've seen Amos, right? The older guy. So that's what I've been trying to tell you. Well, you guys should not have, protested. Your people, your side with the Reza Pahlavi and Israeli flag and all of this. It's very problematic, and you should not support this war on Iran. You should be anti-war in Iran. And I just don't get it, man. But anyways, I'll give you the chance.
Frowned upon by also Westerners, and they just find us traitors. It's just so weird. And
Not you, Satara, not you.
I know, but I went to work today, and my colleague, she was like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know how you feel about the war. Like, should I say I'm sorry or are you happy? Like, they also doubt us. It's disgusting. And I burst out crying and I said, no, I haven't heard from my mom. I'm worried. And I was talking to this Pahlavi fans and I said, I have a nervous breakdown. I'm not eating well. They don't give a shit. My friend was like, oh my God, you're talking like, seriously, you're talking about your nervous breakdown and you're not feeling well to these people that they want their own people to be killed? They don't give a shit. And it's dangerous. We don't want these people in Iran.
So someone on the Iranian state TV came on national TV and announced that we will kill all of you, we will track you down, and basically threatened the nation on national TV, right? You're saying you're worried about the killing of innocent Iranians during this war. I'm with you. Personally, I don't support any war. But the reality is, our reality is war, right? We didn't invite this war. No Iranian people invited this war.
They did. Reza Pahlavi supporters did.
But you're saying that Reza Pahlavi doesn't even have like a majority support in Iran.
It doesn't. Danish, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. He begged the whole
So
world.
are
Did you
you
read the
saying,
statement?
one second, are you saying America and Israel attacked Iran because of Reza Pahlavi and his supporters?
That
Is that the
added
argument?
more. That added to it. That added
Okay.
to the pressure.
Okay, yeah,
The pressure that
that's
came
fair
in.
enough. It may have, yeah, that's fine. My question to Satara is, what do you think about that individual? And also, how do we hold accountable the killings of innocent people on during the January protests? How do you suggest that we hold those people who were innocent, those people who killed the innocent people during the January protests accountable? What track history does the regime have of allowing the nation to actually have some sort of procedures, some governance body, some justice body to allow the people to hold accountable at least the innocent ones that died, okay?
Okay.
Right? Maybe some of them were Mossad agents,
Yeah,
okay,
I got
give you
your
that, but
question.
the innocent people.
Yes, I'm not defending this regime. I'm not defending the Islamic Republic of Iran. But I'm just saying people that they are dying in war, they don't have a choice. It's not their decision. People that they go on the street, which I also went once upon a time, I did decide to go out. I wanted to go out. It's not their decision to
So
be
the
killed
reality
in a
of
war.
Iranian,
Do you understand?
Yeah, so the reality of Iranians for going
No,
out to
it's
protest
not
is that
only
they're gonna get
Iran.
killed. They need to.
It's
Sorry,
not
once-
only
I understand,
Iran.
but we're Iranian and we're talking about
3
Iran.
days ago,
One
there
second.
was a sort of election here in Germany, and there was they said that registered protest against the right-wing people here in Germany. They got a little bit, 2 millimeters closer to the police, and they started using pepper spray and smashing everyone together. This is what it is everywhere. This is happening everywhere. Why do you guys think that this is the only, like, Iran is the only country with a protest and the protesters being killed?
Okay, so I'm going to share a link with you in a couple of minutes.
I do not
One
want
second,
your link.
I want you
Why
to
do
see.
you
I want you
think
to see
this
that video,
is only
and I want you
happening
to
in
tell me.
Iran?
No, so I want you to tell me if something like that, if you have ever seen anything like that.
You guys are
Okay.
unbelievable.
No,
You
Satara,
guys
you
just
said,
find
one
that
second, you
Trump
said this is
had the
happening
right
all
to
around the
attack
world.
us.
One moment, Satara. You
It's
said this is happening
disgusting.
all around the world. I will share a video with you, and I would like you to tell me or send me a video of something like that happening in Germany, okay?
Alright. We could
It's
just
in
put
the
the video.
protest. What are you talking
Yeah.
about?
I want to give the mic to new people that came in as well. Do you want to speak, Mo? Did you want to speak, Mo?
No, I give me like 10 seconds. I know.
Okay, that's fine. Sale, did you want to speak?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, many people just justify Trump's attack on Iran.
Are you Iranian, Sale?
No. Well, I actually live in Germany as well.
Okay, no, but you're not Iranian, right?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so go on. I just wanted to make sure. Go on, Sale.
Yeah, sure. So in my opinion, it's like pretty problematic that a lot of people justify Trump's attack on Iran with the, mistakes of the Iranian regimes, especially in the protests. But people do not realize that Trump, does not care at all about authoritarian, rulers or just in general authoritarian governments. I mean, we've all seen his relationship towards people like Viktor Orban or the Saudi prince, who definitely did a lot of things against human rights, but I think this was purely out of his interest and also Israel and also out of the interest of Israel and not to protect anyone with a different opinion, compared to the Iranian government. So,
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Khalid, did you want to say something? Khalid?
Oh, no, I'm just listening.
No, okay, no problem. Hadi, if you don't mind, we have Habibi here. I think this is his first time in this room. Did you want to chime in, Habibi?
I'm at the airport, guys. I don't really feel like I'm that sort of educated onto the topic. I'm familiar with the history of the region and
You're cutting out, buddy. You're in the matrix.
Just quickly, send over. Please watch that video and then share a video with me of something like that happening.
Sure.
Okay.
We'll look into the video in a bit. So yeah, that's right, Habibi. No problem. Stick around, and you'll see their positions get exposed, especially the people that are, that are pro Raza Pahlavi, that want that, son of Shah to come back. Hadi, do you want to chime in, bro? Assalamu alaikum, welcome.
Hey, Salam, I'm here. I mean, I don't have anything to respond to per se. I mean, did you hear about the what's his face, Joe Kent, basically stepping away from being part of Trump's director of National Counterterrorism Center?
Yeah, I saw that. I actually did it.
Yeah, so he wrote a letter. Yeah, he just wrote a letter. President Trump, after much reflection, I've decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism. Effective today, I cannot, in good conscience, support an ongoing war in Iran. Iran poses no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. So anybody saying that America is invading Iran for any of your personal interests, this is someone from the director of National Counterterrorism that was reporting to Trump, who stepped away. The last thing he said is, as a veteran who deployed to combat 11 times and as a Gold Star husband who lost my beloved wife Shannon in a war manufactured by Israel, I cannot support sending the next generation off to fight and die in a war that serves no benefit to the American people nor justifies the cost of American lives. So,
this was the one that got kicked out of office, right?
Yeah, no, he resigned.
He resigned today. And I just shared the link right now.
Okay, thank you.
Fox News.
Yeah, I'll share the actual screenshot.
Fox News is reporting it?
Everyone's reporting it. I'm surprised you haven't read it yet, honestly.
No, I'm just thinking about this Fox News covering all of a sudden some of this news that's anti-Trump, that goes against Trump's opinion.
I mean, I think they're just bracing for impeachment, and they kind of want to wipe their hands clean of this idiot at this point. They just don't know what to do with him. And then Trump threw a hissy fit as well. I don't know if you read what Trump wrote, Amir, but let me just take a look here. As of 8:51 a.m., he wrote, the United States has been informed by most of our NATO allies that they don't want to get involved with our military operation against the terrorist regime of Iran in the Middle East, despite the fact that almost every country strongly agreed that what we are doing and that Iran cannot in any shape, way, or form be allowed to have nuclear weapons. I am surprised by their action. However, because I always considered NATO, where we spend hundreds of billions of dollars per year protecting these same countries, to be a one-way street, we will protect them, but they will do nothing for us, in particular in a time of need. Fortunately, we have decimated Iran's military, their navy, and their air force, and their aircraft, and radar, and perhaps more importantly, their leaders at virtually every level are gone, never to threaten us, our Middle Eastern allies, or world again. Because of the fact that we have had such military success, we no longer or desire the NATO countries' assistance. We never did, and put that in caps. Likewise, Japan, Australia, or South Korea. In fact, speaking as the President of the United States, by far the most powerful country anywhere in the world, we do not need the help of anyone. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. So he's clearly, not having a good week. He's basically crying like a, autistic little kid who, is having
really mad.
Yeah, he's mad.
Well, I did put the link. So I just pulled up on my feed. It just showed up. I didn't even check my feed this morning. I was watching the Israeli news channel to see the threat, how they're feeling like it. Because I like to watch the enemy channel. What does the enemy feel like? That's what I do every day. I watch every day or every other day. They're talking about that Israel is just going to continue with this and that, and they were even talking about Trump. If how Trump is feeling, if he's going to continue, or and it was about 20 minutes. It's pretty interesting. They were talking about if having problems with the Strait of Hormuz, and there's other attacks that they're going to do tonight, and it's just, I don't know, man. It's like a non-ending shit show. And they were saying that there's still more targets in different cities in Iran, where they keep weapons and whatever. And not to mention, we had Dean here. I think Dean left. Dean said that they were flying the airplane. What was it? That Zion airplane, the one that Netanyahu flies in.
Yeah, I think it's real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Ring of Zion. So that airplane is too costly, and at the end of the day, we know this particular group belongs to what particular group, right? And they're cheap as hell. So they'll try to save dime and nickel here and there. So according to what I found out, that they're flying the plane on the water to keep the attacks away from Iran and Yemeni Houthis or whatever, you know. And it would happen for 4 hours or something, or 6 hours.
Amir, I just wanted to respond to these clowns in the chat that are celebrating that Larry Johnny's dead, and they think that we're somehow upset about it. You know, he's a shaheed, guys. I'm so happy he died a hero fighting for his country, unlike your coward asses shaking your asses in LA, waiting for Pahlavi to come. He died.
Should we
He's a
bring
real
Fred
man.
up?
Yeah, Fred, he's a real man. You won't even be his toenail, dude. Like, Fred, I love Ali Larjani. He's like my hero. I love to be in a world where my people are heroes, like Ali Larjani, Ali Khamenei, you know, all these amazing.
Oh, that's the same Fred. Oh, the idiot. Oh my God, the idiot. Yeah. Thank you for unfollowing me, Fred. I just unfollowed you as well. You just annoying, and unfollow my house as well, Fred. I don't want annoying B words on my rooms. It's okay. Stay in the audience. You're annoying as hell.
His hero is Reza Pahlavi. You know, he loves his book, his ChatGPT
Big
book.
fucking nose job fight.
No, he doesn't have a nose.
Satare is really pissed off.
Sorry, like really pissed.
I would tell.
I came here to calm down, and there are this velvet bitch here. I'm sorry to call you a bitch because a bitch is better than you.
Don't be
Let's
sorry.
He is a bitch.
Let's try to keep it civilized, Satare. Come on, you're better than this, Satare.
I don't really insult people, but when I'm so pissed off, I can't help it.
Tatarajan, don't say it, I'll say it for you. He is a bitch. Don't worry about it.
Honey, be careful where you're fasting.
Him and Fred are having a bitch party in the chat.
Oh my God. Even you're fasting, I believe, but you gotta be
Well,
careful.
I
Anyways.
got some news that Netanyahu is actually dead.
Netanyahu is not.
They've released the 4th AI video of him now. Now he's
Hadi,
I've
my
seen so
husband
many
is
videos.
German, and when he says, I think you are right, he is dead, it means
That's it.
I
Germans
really-
check their facts, you know?
I really feel like he is, but I don't know. I've been trying to just get like a 100% confirmation. I've been watching a lot of people break down these videos and stuff. It's still like a little up in the air, but I don't know. I want like 100% confirmation to celebrate.
Well, it's not like they're going to tell you the truth. They'll
Yeah.
tell you he died more towards the end of the war.
Wouldn't he become like a hero like Larry Johnny though? If
No, because he's a
just killed?
bitch.
Yeah. Well,
He's like
I
Melvin.
mean, so, but wouldn't he just become a hero? Wouldn't you want to be
Then
like,
The Israeli people hate him.
Did you see the reaction after he resigned? The officer, Trump goes, it's a good thing that he's out. He's a good thing. How does he speak? Can anybody copy his accent, the way he speaks?
It's a good thing. No, I'm not. I need to brush up on it.
Trump speaks.
He has a job to fulfill, and he's not gonna die until he gets that job.
Well, this guy, I think this will, it will happen to a lot of officers, I think. A lot of, Trump says U.S. should reconsider NATO membership and blast allies for not helping in Iran. There's analysis that was done by CNN. CNN sometimes does a good job on, analyzing stuff about this whole war. Let me remove the paywall. I'll put the link in the chat if you guys want to read into it.
Donald
Myself, I kind of like, it's a mainstream media, but I like CNN sometimes.
Yeah, but I think he is so not informed. He doesn't know that NATO actually just defend, like their job is to defend. They can't attack. He just doesn't know. He's not educated. And Germany was like, what should we now do? NATO just defend.
It looks like I put the link in the chat. So now this person, his name is Aaron Blake. He's analyzed by this whole thing about Iran and Israel conflict. He goes, we have no interest in protracted conflict. Vice President J.D. Vance said in June 2025, hours after the United States carried out airstrikes in Iran, nuclear facility that he added, we have no interest in boots on the ground. This was said, in 2025. And I think slowly they're changing the tone. And if you read this whole article, it's pretty interesting. It goes into all the officials, what they have said and what not. It's in the chat. You guys are welcome to check it out.
So Velvet's asking, Agi, why does it always take too long for the Islamic regime to confirm its officials that, not his officials, that first of all, I recommend you read a book on the art of war by Sun Tzu. That's really the reason. You're not supposed to be honest in a war. I know that's probably how you would have conducted your shitty country in a war, just like handing roses out and say, don't kill us. But when you're up against bloodthirsty maniacs, sometimes delaying announcements does play advantageous. Now, talking about delays, I think Netanyahu's been dead for 11 days, but they're releasing AI videos every day trying to prove that he's still alive. Now that, my friend, is cowardice.
Is the last video AI as well, Hadi?
Yes, the one we're talking about
this morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what's the proof of it being
I just ask Rock if he's too lazy. I don't know.
Let's bring up Fred. Now we have a terrorist alert. He's about to come up. He's a terrorist, by the way, a well-known terrorist on this app. He's a big Reza Pahlavi supporter. Let me bring Fred up. Fred, I gave introduction to. I told everybody about you. You're a terrorist. Welcome, terrorist.
Hey guys, congrats.
Hey, terrorist. How you doing there, terrorist?
Oh my God, he's so good. God,
You know where I live. Why don't you pull up?
You think it's funny? You think the word is
So,
funny?
I'm just gonna say that we accept any order for free, no charge. If you wanna go to heaven.
Okay, let me give you a hypothetical.
Just give us the list.
Okay. Fred, hang on a second. Hang on. Fred, hang on a second, Samantha. Please, hang on a second, sister. So, Fred, here's a question for you. If America says tomorrow that all of it depends on you, but you have to bend over and take it up, you're behind in Tel Aviv, right? And you'll be able to free your people. Would you do it?
Let's see if they say such a thing.
If Trump says he wants you to bend over and take it up in your butt in Tel Aviv, right? He said he's going to fly you to Tel Aviv in his, Air Force One, and he wants you to bend over and take it up your butt in Tel Aviv, and you'll be, and he'll free your people. Would you take it up your butt?
I would say take a butt from Prophet Muhammad. How about that?
There you go. See, Islamophobic. Okay, have a safe flight to the hallway. Bye-bye. Get lost.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I grew up with, dude. I grew up in Toronto. They call it Toronto.
So you live in Canada, right, Hadi?
I used to, yeah.
Oh, I've never heard Toronto before.
Oh, you never heard Toronto?
No, I live here.
Young and Steels. You never been there?
Yeah, I know. I used to work there. But I've never heard that term. And by the way,
Young and Steels is a famous place.
Young and Steels are also North York, man.
North York, yeah, it's all just right. I mean, there's Tehrangeles and there's Toronto. There's little avenues where it's just all Persian banners, Persian stores, everything. So yeah, these guys they think if they insult Prophet Muhammad, we get upset. We don't care.
I just kicked them out. I'm like, maybe tomorrow will be a fresh day. Maybe we'll give them a second chance tomorrow. Idiots.
Yeah.
But this is another problem amongst the Reza Pahlavi supporters, right? They left, even though their grandmothers, grandfathers must be Muslims, but they have to come here and insult, Islam in a manner where it gets kind of crazy. Because if you want because some of those Pahlavi supporters, they do claim to be Muslims, by the way. I had a guy in here, he came in here, he supports Reza Pahlavi, but he's like a Muslim. I'm like, how could you be Muslim if you're waving Israeli flag? He's like, yeah, I support Israel. I'm like, then how are you a Muslim? I don't get it.
Amir, did you see that video of Reza Pahlavi talking to one of the Baluchi Sunni leaders in Iran, saying that he wants to make all of Iran's mosques Sunni? And this is not about Sunni Shia stuff, but the fact that he's pandering to anything he can just to gain traction, and now he's campaigning with them. It's just an abysmal state of affairs, because this person literally says he wants to remove Islam from Iran, and now he's pandering to Sunni Muslims in the south of Iran and Balochistan to say, oh yeah, I want to take all the Shia mosques down and make them all Sunni, and this is the level of stupidity this man. It's the interviews online, by the way, but he's grasping at straws. No offense to Sunni.
Has he specifically said that? Sorry, 1 second, mister. Has he specifically said that he wants to remove Islam completely from the Iranian land or from the government?
From government, separate church and state. Okay, but yeah. As he's going on, he wants to basically eradicate it, kind of like his grandfather, just make it a modernized country. I don't think he'll give it a chance to breed again, given the history of Iran. Well, I don't even care if he does. The problem is I just see him as an incompetent Israeli shill. I don't care if Iran brought a secular leader and kind of went the direction Turkey did with Ataturk, I wouldn't care. As a Muslim, I wouldn't care if that's what's going to happen, right? But if it's for the betterment of the people, that's fine, right? I'm not going to be saying a theocratic government is the best form of government.
Oh, so we're on the same team, Hadi. Okay,
but Danish, what you're doing is you're not standing with Iran. And Iran has taken a very brave position.
I understand, Hadi, but I have certain principles I can never stand with the IRGC. Their hands are too dirty in blood. I cannot.
But the people that are attacking RGC have dirtier hands and bloodier hands, and that's what.
Yeah, but I don't look at it that way. I don't like to have this idea that I have to choose between bad and worse. You know what I mean? No. Sorry.
Being a bad to bad tag. That's life.
Yeah, I don't want to choose between.
So if there's an option where you sever one limb, and there's an option where you have to.
No, I'm just saying we can actually, as Iranian people, we can unite behind the idea that no matter what happens after this war or during this war, no longer can we accept IRGC. We can at least be united behind that, right? We can have a common cause, and we can start with that. No IRGC. What's wrong with?
There's nothing wrong with that, Danish.
No, that's my position. And I think actually a lot of us have a lot in common.
You are open. Out of that desperation to remove IRGC, you are open with taking help from people that are known to destabilize countries and just bring them into the Stone Age with how they behave.
Not necessarily. This war is already happening. They're killing IRGC members. Am I sad for the civilians dying? Absolutely. I did not support this war in the first place. But am I also happy for IRGC people to get a beating? Absolutely. Right?
No,
they killed a lot. But I am, because they killed Iranian people, innocent Iranian people, whenever they please, in whatever method they please. So this is the problem, right? Why are you against Israel or in particular Zionism?
Why are you gay, Danish? Why are you gay? Why are you gay?
I mean, Danish, for you to care, I think you do a very false equation between IRGC and the unholy land of Israel. Israel, even from a doctrinal level, is against humanity. They literally believe in their texts in ethno-supremacy. They believe that if they kill us, there's no consequence. They do not believe that they, any of us, are of benefit to them except to serve them. This is their doctrine. They are the most protected class in all forms of media. Up until the social media explosion, they have been protected with terms like anti-Semite. Nobody can even tell me what that really means. What the fuck is an anti? So if someone says something bad about Iranians, do we have a term for that? No, we don't. But these guys are the most protected class in all media classes.
Okay, so
unless you were a Jew, if you're a Jew, then you're a Jew.
1 second. Yeah, exactly. But so, Hadi, are you saying if the tables turned, 1 second, Hadi, if the tables turned, and let's say that the IRGC was in the position that the Zionists are now, with the sort of backing that they have, the global backing, media, and all that sort of stuff, do you think they would be any different from the Zionists?
100%.
Okay, so were you here last night when we were listening to that was it Neurocratic or the Dictator
Ilyas?
Yes, yeah. So were you listening to him? Was he wasn't even
Yeah, Radi was
That's
here.
just
Radi was
I
here.
was
Yeah.
here. I know.
Yeah,
it's very
so
well. I
would
know
you
his
say
understanding
there's
is very well.
groups like that within the Iranian IRGC right now that quite literally believe that they don't even believe the whole idea of Iran or nationalism is completely irrelevant to them. They have sort of a very similar perspective to what the Zionists do, right? This whole kind of like global control and like an Islamic world, like, but you have to be honest about it, they do.
No,
right?
they
You
don't.
can't-
No, they don't. No, they don't. Israel doesn't run off a nuclearic system, first of all, and they don't have a head of state.
Actually, they do. They do. That's the thing. Is that they just say that they are the most ethical, that they are the,
Danny,
superior.
you keep getting stuck in nuances. You don't like.
No. That's kind of the point.
Nuances.
No, that's kind of the point. Is that if you listen to how Jews talk, they say that we have God's blessing, that we are God's chosen people.
That's not what a nuclearic system is.
No, but they're saying that everything that we do is ethical on the basis of it is God's command. So they justify all things through God.
Yeah.
Because God is the most ethical. God cannot be unethical.
But that's not what a
God
nuclearic
chooses
system
something,
is.
or God says something, or God does something, therefore this is the most ethical thing.
Manny, that's not what a nuclearic system
That is what a nuclearic system is. A
nuclearic
nuclearic
system is
system,
definitely-
a nuclearic system that is justified through divine right, that's exactly what it looks like.
Dude, you keep nuancing things. That's not what a nuclearic system really means for a society.
Nuancing things.
Okay, do you want to go for the definition of
Yeah,
nucracy?
hold on.
Here, nucracy.
Nucracy, yeah, let go.
Okay. Rule of the mind, aristocracy of the wise.
Okay. And
Right?
what does that have to do with God?
So, yeah, okay, but they're saying that this comes through God. That's why they promote like the Ayatollah.
No, that's not why they promote the Ayatollah.
No?
If you study Wilayat al-Faqih, not any Ayatollah can be the supreme leader.
Okay.
The belief is that when you attain a level of mysticism, like Khomeini claimed that he did, you become an extension of God's will upon the people.
Okay, so this is about God's will. So you attain this higher level of... so you attain this higher level of wisdom. So you attain this higher level of wisdom through divine right.
The Jews believed they were given that.
Yeah, but it's the same thing.
How is that the same thing? When it's same thing. It's iktisabi. The matter is that you attain a level of spirituality through many different processes that allow you to then become a pious philosopher king for the people, as opposed to the Jews saying that's a God-given thing. That's just a
No, but for the Jews, it was given to them. But not all Jews are going to be equally as wise. They have, a hierarchy from within the Jewish community. So that's why they have sages and rabbis. The sages and the rabbis are more pious and more wise.
Is Benjamin Netanyahu the leader?
No, because it's not a theocratic system. But for them, right, if you look at them from a scriptural standpoint, their sages and their rabbis, right, have a higher hierarchy, or higher in the hierarchy, right, in terms of wisdom. That's why they have like really important ones like Rabbi Akiva, for example, right, and other rabbis like that. So those are closer to God than your average Jew through their wisdom, through their practice, through their theological studies, yada yada yada.
It's literally antithetical to what you're saying. Wilayat al-Faqih means the supreme leader is the scholar and does not answer to any leader. That this turns the traditional concept of what you're saying, where pious, wise people become advisors to the emperor or the leader of state. Wilayat al-Faqih is the polar opposite of that. It's saying
No. For them, no. The way that the Jews understand it is that the leaders of states will become the servants of the same rabbis. So they go. This is why they go to the wall.
Who is the supreme leader of Netanyahu? Who does Netanyahu report to?
Well, right now they're still building that process, but that's why they need the third temple. That's why they need the Sanhedrin. No. But in principle, that's what they want.
Benny, you're a smart guy, but sometimes like you get into the weeds of things and you lose the bigger point.
No, the bigger point is these are both proclaiming themselves to be the rule of the wise through divine rights.
Divine. What is divine right? Is it given or achieved?
Both.
It can't be both.
It is.
Oh well, what they did.
Like, but do you know that one of the greatest rabbis in Jewish history? I forgot his name right now, but he was really instrumental in what's his name? Okianian or something like that. He was very instrumental in putting together the Mishnah. He was born a Greek. He was not born a Jew. He converted, right? But because he's a convert, huh?
Do you know where you're going with this argument?
Yeah, is that you don't have to be born a Jew. That's the thing, is that this divine right that they believe in, right, can be achieved.
But that wasn't my...
Being born a Jew is an advantage to help you attain it, right? But it's not a necessity. The necessity to achieve it is through, getting closer to God through intellectual practice and wisdom and yada yada yada. The same things that Shia said.
Alright, I don't want to detract too far off the topic. The question Danish asked is if IRGC was in Israel's position, controlling all the media, being able to have all access to unlimited resources, basically have access to all the central banks, and control the narrative of the world, would they act differently than how Israel did? I say yes. They would be different. They would be nothing like Israel. They would not be ethno-supremacists.
How do you know that?
I know that based on the words and writings of the ethos of the concept of IRGC that comes from Ayatollah Khomeini, what he believed in the people, that he believed, he was more of a Leninist than anything. He would never believe in capitalism. He hated capitalism. He hated borders. And in fact, Iran has never been a country that wanted any kind of interest in people's lands or destabilizing countries. They have proven time and again they willing for countries to help. No, they've never destabilized the country. You're going to say Syria. Syria was only
No interest in land?
What is Iran expansionism? Go ahead.
Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and to a lesser extent Yemen, and they've also done some stuff in Africa.
They have expansionist things, or do they believe that it's a pan-Islamic government where they will all have their own heads of state and they will run by their own Sharia?
As I showed from Hassan Nasrallah yesterday when he was talking.
But you left after.
Yes, he pledged his allegiance. He pledged his allegiance to Waliyatul Faqih under Imam Khomeini.
Yes, but that does not mean that Iran has interest in lands in Lebanon. That means exactly to protect. No, that means from a religious standpoint, they see Imam Khamenei as a spiritual guide under this banner of Shia Islam.
He literally said, our goal is the establishment of an Islamic state.
You use one line from Hassan Nasrallah to make your point. I have 50 pages from Khomeini's book to tell you otherwise about what the very ethos of Walayatul Faqih was, and it was
just like the American Empire proclaimed that all its vassals are really independent.
What land did Iran come from?
Come on.
Lebanon was a liability for Iran. Right, Benny?
Okay.
You realize that, right?
Dude, all empires quote their imperial ambitions in beautiful language. Listen, dude. All empires quote their imperial ambitions in nice language to make it look appealing to the masses. But in reality, when you look behind the scenes, imperialism is imperial. And Iran is no different than any other imperial power. It's no different than the imperial power that it was under the Achaemenids.
No.
To be honest.
You're
this is not new to Iran.
Listen, you're coming from a place of ignorance. Now I have to teach you. I don't want to. I don't want to be condescending to you, but you're speaking out of line. Khomeini repeatedly argued that nationalism itself was un-Islamic. In his speeches, he claimed the nation-state divided Muslims. For example, he said these issues that exist among the people that we are Iranian is not correct. Nationalism is against Islam. He also framed nationalism as something created by imperial powers to divide Muslims. We do not worship Iran, we worship Allah. Patriotism is another name for paganism. Because of the Khomeini's ideology placed Islam above the nation state and sought unity among Muslims rather than Persian national power. This is exactly what you're trying to frame things, and you tried to do it a few days ago as well by saying Iran's help in Palestine and Lebanon was some sort of like personal gain for Iran. Now, someone with like Velvet will come and tell you, fuck the Arabs, why did we even send money to them? Then we have ungrateful Arabs like you that come and say Iran came and destabilized Syria and has personal interest. So fuck you both, honestly.
Okay. I never claimed that this was ethnic, by the way.
No, fuck you both.
So, Hadi, is that what you
But I never claimed that this was ethnic. I said that this was imperial, not
You'll
ethnic.
agree with me. Danish will agree with me.
No, look, I want to ask you a question.
You strawmanned my argument. Hold on, Hadi. You're strawmanning my argument. I never once claimed that this was ethnic. I never claimed that this was ethnic.
Personal interest in Yemen and where.
Yes, Iran as an empire, right? I never said that this was an ethnic empire. I never said that this was an ethnic empire, and you, by saying that the breakdown of the nation of the goal of the Iranic empire, right, actually emphasizes how they want to achieve their imperial ambitions by breaking down these nations and establishing an Islamic empire.
In simple
The empire is based on
that's
ethnicity.
what Israel is trying to do, right?
No,
That's what you're arguing Israel is trying to do.
Israel is not doing that.
But no, it's just a different method. They're just trying to create chaos in the Middle East so they can take the land that they
Iran
want.
doesn't
Is that
create
what you're
chaos
trying
in the Middle East. It stabilizes Middle Eastern countries that are basically put into chaos by Israel. Danish.
Okay, so I have a question though, Hadi. Is that what you subscribe to? Are you an internationalist? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being an internationalist. I'm just asking, are you an internationalist?
I don't believe in borders.
Okay, that's fine.
This is God's borders. What are you talking about? Do you believe in borders that are drawn for you by Britain, and the imperialist powers?
No, but in reality, we do have nations, and the world seems to have a lot of countries. We have
Nations aren't even 100
countries.
years old. Nations aren't even 100 years old.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with that. I think we can have a good world with nations as well. Like maybe I'm being too idealist, but like in a utopian world with nations, maybe we could have our wars and fights would be happening in the Olympics or the World Cup, not over the battlefield with guns and tanks, right? So I think we can have a world with different nations, and it can still be a utopian world.
It's not. It hasn't been since we did it. It's only created conflict. The borders created conflict. The countries that came and helped some of these countries come up and then put other ones into poverty created conflict. There's so many different influences that, and the curse is that these Muslim lands had oil, they had resources, and they were easily manipulated, just like how the natives were manipulated in North America. The natives, when these Europeans first came to natives and they told them, hey, we want to buy your land for like $200 and some cigarettes. They're like, wait, you want to buy land? How could you buy land? This is the earth. You can't buy the earth. They're like, okay, we'll take the money. They were so naive whenever they came to the inception of, the great land of America and Canada. They just gave it to the Europeans because they didn't understand how someone can own land. And the same thing was in the Arab countries. They were always under a caliphate. They were under a caliphate state, and they were part of that Islamic government for thousands of years, whether it was Abbasid Caliphate or the Ottomans. They were under that. And then suddenly someone came and started drawing borders. Here's Yemen, here's Saudi, here's Emirates. And essentially what happened is, because of the involvement of these imperialist countries, these countries would never really understand how to rule because they never got a chance to. They were just kind of given a gun. They've never seen a gun. And there's a saying in Farsi, Khoda kharo mishna, be shakh nada. God knew the donkey, he didn't give him horns. Because a khar is stupid person. And Arabs were stupid people. And he gave them all these things. And look what they did with it. Right now, they're one of the ruling classes in the world. Khomeini was the opposite of these people. Khomeini actually believed in pan-Islamism. He didn't believe in borders. He believed in the Muslim empire and the Muslim nation coming together under one banner, and not just militarizing them, but just being guided back to the old way, which was the Muslim caliphate. Khomeini was a resurgence of the concept of the Muslim caliphate, except his version was that it was under the scholars' rule, whereas the caliphate had long become a sultanate, a monarch. he basically said the scholar that attains the highest level of wisdom should be the guide for the people. And that's what Hassan Nasrallah was talking about when he said that I want to unite under this banner, that this is our ultimate guide. But Nasrallah didn't give up his land and didn't give up any resources. In fact, Hassan Nasrallah and his people were a liability for Iran. The Iranians sent so much money, time, efforts. They made peace pacts with Syria just to get things over to Lebanon. So, you know, if you guys are going to say that Iran had some financial interest in the Arab country aid, like, good luck with that argument.
Okay, so a question that I would have is for people, let's say in this Islamic region, that we, is it the Middle East? Where is this Islamic region that you're referring to? Is it going to be like the entire world? Is it going to be the Middle East and North Africa? Where is this particular area that you're referring to exactly?
I mean, if I'm being, like, we could do the Ottoman Empire. So Ottoman Empire and the Persian Empire.
And so for people in these in this region or in these nations who don't see the religion being a relevant part of this whole thing that you're explaining, they don't see religion as such an important matter, should their voices be shut down then and not be heard?
No, it's not that.
Yeah, but this is how you're framing it, Hadi. The way you're framing it is that this is a religious war, it's a spiritual war going on between the Islamic world and the Western world and imperialism. And look, I'm not challenging that, right? I'm not Muslim, but I'm not Islamophobe. I understand that every group of people on this earth have their own struggles and their own fights, right? But my question is for people like we're talking about right now. Iran, right, is going through this war, and Iran is a nation, right? And in the real world that we live in, it's described as a nation. So my question is for the Iranian people, forget even the Middle Eastern people, should they not have a say whether they want to follow this ideology, whether they want to believe this ideology, whether they want to be part of this fight, part of this struggle? What do you think? Or should we just listen to someone like Ilyas from last night and just depend on the elites of society and listen to what they have to say and where they want to lead?
I think Ilyas kind of came off as a little brash, so let's not bring him up. But I understand what his worldview is just because I know his work in cognitive science. He's a cognitive scientist, and he basically looks at things just from empirical set data sets. But let's put that aside. We can talk about him later. Danish, I'm not a zealot. I've never looked at a non-Muslim to think they're like I'm better than them, and because I'm a Muslim, I'm this and that. And for you to pose that question gives me insight as to how you're seeing things. The world's not the same place it was 47 years ago. Secularism was not as popular back then as it is now. In fact, people revolted against Reza Shah and Mohammad Reza Shah because of their or because of their secular sentiment, more so than religious sentiment. So, yeah, I agree with you. They should have that opportunity to do that, except that when people like Khomeini were emerging, these borders had just been drawn, and people were coming off the Ottoman Empire, and they were more likely to accept Khomeini as like this, leader, Muslim leader, as opposed to a king that had secular ambition, right? That's 47 years ago. Does that mean over time, as we got more interconnected with the world, as they started playing shows in Iran, like How I Met Your Mother and Everybody Loves Raymond, people had more ambitions to become more secular. They saw the West as like something of freedom, a form of freedom, and now they're going to have this conscious shift or paradigm shift as to how they want to live their life. Absolutely, that's only going to be natural, but it doesn't change the state. At the end of the day, the state will rule by the Sharia law. It was once established 47 years ago. And a state's main objective will always be self-preservation and eliminating existential threat. And Iran has been in an existential threat from the inception of the Islamic Revolution. We're not going to doubt that. They literally launched Saddam at Iran. For 8 years, they went to war. Many people lost their lives. So some people don't want to be secular because they're like, what are we doing for it? And there are some people that served in the war, like yesterday, like Shahram, who said, like, fuck Iran, I'm done with it. I want someone to come get rid of this system. It happens, but all of these things are not something that can happen overnight, Dutch. Over a course of 30, 40 years, some things will change. The most difficult part in all this is that people conflate religious and secular government with the prosperity of Iran. And it was never to do with the Islamic Republic. It always had to do with the fact that Iran didn't like being controlled, whether it was under Mossadegh, whether it was under Mohammad Reza Shah, or whether it was under Khomeini. They always tried to put Iran in disadvantageous positions to control us. And this, Danish, you have to be honest, this is coming from Britain, this is coming from America, and it's coming from Israel. These are the biggest existential threats to Iran. And so Iran will do whatever it can in its power to preserve itself.
I agree with you, but the problem is that the Iranian government, like I said, their hands are just too bloody to be able to justify their position. And to be honest, I understand it may sound naive, but I do have ambitions and I do dream of this regime going overnight. Right, because that's what I want. I want them to be held accountable for all those innocent people that got killed. And again, I may sound naive, and I understand the threats that Western countries impose, not just the Middle Eastern countries, but all around the world. They have a track record for it. But I think I'm just want to finish here.
You sound gay.
Hadi, the idea is okay. So Hadi, the idea is that my problem is people still standing by the IRGC. That for me is
look, Danish, if you isolate IRGC in your mind and just to the Iranian people, they are monsters. You can make that point. You just look at their track record, you see the things that they've messed up on, you see the people that have died as a result, you see injustices happening, sure, no problem. You could do
it's even deeper when someone like Hashemi last night was referring to these things as mismanagement, right? You cannot look at these things as mismanagement. They're just crimes, right? They're just crimes against humanity.
We have to look at the motivation behind it, Danish. Is it an evil act that they just want to kill innocent lives? What is the motivation behind the loss of life in the last protest? What was the motivation? Right?
I think they were scared, and for their own survival.
Now, let's say Iran wasn't the country, right? Iran wasn't the country that's taking the brunt force of taking on the Roman Empire we call Zionist America. Let's say Iran wasn't that country. But you hear about this other country named Iraq, for example, and their people have suffered under Saddam. I'm just creating a hypothetical here. And Saddam Hussein is taking on the ethno-Zio state. And all you know is that Israel has a history of destabilizing Middle Eastern countries, controlling politicians in America, causing war, costing people millions of lives, has no interest in any kind of humanitarianism. They are ethno-supremacists. In their scripture, it literally says if spilling our blood means nothing. If they rape a 3-year-old girl, there is no sin on the Jewish man. In fact, the 3-year-old girl should be killed because she enticed the Jewish man to do. When you have this type, the ruling class, and you find out Iraq, yes, there's a dictator named Saddam Hussein, he's done fucked up shit, but somehow he's standing up to it because his people believe that he is sent from God. And I'm getting hypothetical, I'm just changing labels at this point. He's sent from God, and the people that die in the way of Saddam Hussein are dying in the way of God, and they're going to achieve paradise in heaven. And that there's this entire theology based on Saddam Hussein that allows them to not be afraid of the Roman Empire and topple this entire regime down. You're going to not take it personally. You're just going to who's this Saddam guy that's fighting for the rest of humanity? Right? Yeah, he's a monster to his people, but sometimes in order to fight monsters, you need to become a monster. Then you start looking at it a different lens. So IRGC is more than just a group of people that did atrocities to the people. Yes, no one's going to do that. But what was their intention? What was the motivation behind IRGC's plan? Yes, could it be mismanagement of funds? Sure, but ultimately it has always been existential threat and preservation of the country. That is the key priority of IRGC. There is no other priority for the for IRGC to do that, right? If you think there's another intention that they have some satanic plot to end people's lives and do sorcery on them, then I'd love to hear it. But that is ultimately IRGC's ultimate point.
Well, based on the domestic policies that cannot.
Hang on. So someone can argue, Hadi, that Saddam was a threat to Saudi Arabia as well. right? I don't know if you know about this, right? And Saddam even took over Kuwait.
Mind you, I said hypothetically. I mean, I'm saying imagine a world where Saddam didn't get overthrown, and now that's
no. I'm just so I don't know. I kind of I know we always bring up this example about Iraq, but if I look at it like really, like literally into the details, right? So Saudi Arabia allowed America to use the military base, right? For the fighter jets.
And Kuwait
did because Kuwait was literally taken over by Saddam.
Yeah, and the U.S. told them to withdraw and kill the Iraqi army then too, right? It was just another instance of backstabbing. Yeah.
It just, to be honest with you, when you look at the Iraqi thing, some people did benefit, like Saudi Arabia and Kuwait, right? No more threats. But then at the same time, you lost almost 1 million people. Was it worth it?
I mean, I don't care if Saudi Arabia feels threatened. I would rather preserve 1 million people. And also, there was a currency issue with the petrodollar because Saddam Hussein wanted to trade their oil in euros. And should he have been the first to do that, it may have caused a movement against the petro to debase the currency and the American USD standard. So there's so many different reasons why Saddam, had to go according to the U.S. But was it worth it? Like, was it worth it for the Iraqis to have the democracy they have now? Absolutely not. Iraqis, if you speak to them, Danish, they'll say, Iraqis need dictators. They'll say exactly what Ilyas was saying.
I feel like that's more like a nostalgic sort of feeling, right? It's almost like some Pahlavi supporters who like to refer to Iran as Persia or the Persian people, right? It's that sort of nostalgic sort of attachment they have with their country or their history, which it's not necessarily a very solid position to even, challenge it.
Do you remember that one girl that came in here? Right, she's a Persian, she's Iranian. She said she used to support the Propali. Her name was started with Akan or something. I don't know. And you know what she said, Ali? The Middle Eastern people, they need dictators. They need a dictator. They don't democracy. We never had democracy, so we're not used to democracy. That's what she said.
Let's ask Hadi. Hadi, do you think the Iranian people have?
Hold on. I was saying that. Hang on, Danish. You've been speaking for a while, brother. Come on.
Sorry.
Yes, Sadar.
That's exactly what I said. I said we. Sorry,
you said this as well. Oh wow.
Yeah, I said it. I said
no, it wasn't you. There was another one, Satare. There was another one. She's a Reza Pahlavi supporter.
Yeah,
she came in here.
I also
and
said
you said it after. You recently came in here. You started coming in like 1 week ago, Satare. I'm talking about like 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
she took the credit. She was the first one.
Go ahead, Satare.
Yeah, I also said it. Iranians are used to dictators. We all have a dictator within us. It's whether you like me
the dictator lives inside of you, does it matter?
Exactly.
How would you rule if you were given a chance? How would you rule? Would you force them into, especially the Reza Pahlavi supporters, would you force them clean the streets?
Donald Trump and I, we were born on the same day. I was born on the same day with Donald Trump, and I fucking.
You were over 70 years old? You're over 70 years old?
Same day.
Oh my God, Satare, you're 70 years old?
Not year, day, I mean.
I'm just totally right. I know.
But seriously, I hate myself when I found out that I was born in the same day with this bloody bastard. This is, oh my God.
It's a lucky day. He's a good president for America. What are you talking about? He's the best thing we have in America.
He's the most hated person.
Danish loves him. Velvet loves him. He's attacking their own country.
If he dies, I think the world is going to celebrate.
Yeah, well, if you keep on saying things like that about me, I'm going to respond.
I didn't understand.
He said, I love Epstein. I'm like, astaghfirullah.
Oh my God, you're disgusting. So no doubt.
No, he said I like Trump, right? I love Trump.
No, but Trump, look, you do agree, Velvet, wants Trump in place. A lot of Reza Pahlavi supporters, they supported Trump, by the way, Danish.
Yeah, and I don't believe all of them are unreasonable people. I think they have their reasons for the stance that they've taken, and I think their voices and their arguments need to be heard. and that's what I'll care about.
I should open up a room and I need to interview every single Persian Trump supporter.
No, but you have a good room, Amir. I think sometimes I do believe you have some kind of a narrative, but I do think you do listen to everyone, and I think I do appreciate that.
I kind of have a narrative, bro. Literally, Satari called me out. She said, "Why do I love Danish? I should kick him out."
Amir, to be honest, I swear to God, Iranians are in any country, there are right-wing supporters. Here in Germany, they're always voting for the right wing, and the Germans are so sick of it. They are just.
They need to kick these people out. These scumbags.
Yeah, they are. They always support the right-wingers. I don't know why. These people are fucking racist, motherfucker fascists.
I got you. That's the thing.
So did you watch the video that I sent you? Did you watch it?
My time is very precious.
Okay. So I think if you open it, you realize that it's actually, as an Iranian, it would be an important video for you to watch. And I was just wondering if you could share with us any.
Why are you smiling, Dan? If you're laughing in the background, bro, you're laughing.
Stop saying that, Amir. I'm not smiling or laughing.
Right there, Satara, we can tell he's laughing while he's speaking to us.
I just wanted to know, Satara, if you could share a video of something like that happening in Germany, I would appreciate.
Anybody in the audience would like to come up? Hey, what's up, Amin? What's up, Habibi? I think he's busy at the airport. What's up, Alonzo? How you doing, man? You okay?
Russia also they disconnected the internet. I just don't know why nobody is talking about Russia.
Russia, so I'm going to give you guys some heads up. I was in the Russian room earlier. I was listening to Russian. And they were talking about how some of the rooms on this app, they're spreading propaganda. Tucker Carlson was spoken about. These are Zionist Russian Jews. They're talking about the Iran thing, that a lot of European countries are coming and telling them to stop. It was a Russian room, by the way. It wasn't in English. And I was thinking about that. I said, so Russia has a pretty good relationship with Iran and with Israel. And
with Israel?
Yeah. Do you know there's so many Russian Zionist Jews that live inside, inside Israel?
No, I didn't actually. Wow.
Yeah. And Russian and Ukrainian, they're actually, they're the same people, by the way.
Yeah, the Russians are also right-wingers here.
Yeah.
How much influence do the Zionists have over the Kremlin?
Zionists have influence all over the world, not just Kremlin.
No, how much influence, not interest. How much influence do they have over the Kremlin?
I don't know the exact stats. Do you have it?
I'm asking you.
I don't know.
Well, they're leading a war, Americans on behalf of Israel, so.
I'm wondering if there's a Russian version of Jeffrey Epstein who has blackmailed Putin or Kremlin figures into doing their.
Then there will be.
Did you say blackmailed Putin? I mean, good luck with blackmailing.
That's what I'm asking to try to decipher if it's possible.
I think he's the father of blackmailing everyone.
I understand that.
So according to the AI,
I got a question from you, Amir, and also Hadi, if you want to.
Sure, Velvet. Go on. You priority, man. Please, nobody call him gay, please. Okay, go on, Velvet.
Yeah, I don't want. So, what do you think Khomeini was a Zionist?
Why would he be a Zionist?
Because he got help from Israel against Iraq, another Muslim nation. Why on earth would they do that?
He got help during the Iraq.
Yes.
Wasn't it the other way around that he helped? Like I think he looked the other way when America did the attack on Iraq or something. Did he? Wasn't that the deal?
No. He bought ammunition from Israel, and also Israelis within the war.
Okay. Let me say this, Velvet. Let me say this. If I go to the store right now, I buy candy, which I don't. I wouldn't buy candy because I'm fasting. If I go to a store, buy candy from a 7-Eleven down the road from my house, and let's say he's a Zionist Jew, does that make me a Zionist?
Buying weapons is very different from buying candy.
Hold on,
Yes,
Danish,
literally.
hold on, Danish, hold on. Does that make me a Zionist, Velvet?
No.
Just like that, Hamas has bought weapons from IDF. They arrested a whole bunch of IDF soldiers selling American-made weapons to Hamas. It doesn't make Hamas Zionist or pro-Israel. You understand? So I'll give you more examples.
But he bought weapons from Israeli government, and also Israeli stopped them. They mutually attacked Iraq, and also Israel mediated in the war in favor of Iran.
Yes.
Why would a Muslim person like Khomeini do that to another Muslim nation such as Iraq? He betrayed them, I think. This is
Self-interest. Well, so these countries have built a self-interest. But hold on. This was a strategic, maybe a small, isolated case, one or two cases. I'll give you some examples. In America, I know some pro-Palis. Actually, there was one pro-Pali that used to come in here all the time. He has a collection of guns. And you know what he told me? He told me Israel makes the best weaponry. He has, like, I think 2 or 3 of them in his collection. They're made by Israel. Versus American weaponry. And I wouldn't buy shit from Israel. I'm boycotting, right? But his perspective is, I want the best thing to protect my family. To protect his family, he'll use, whatever weapon he can get his hands, the best of the best. He to protect his family from getting attacked. Because in America, we have the right to carry a weapon inside a house. I mean, California is very strict.
So why can't we Iranians?
Does that make him a Zionist?
No. My question.
Just because he bought a gun to protect his wife and the kids or whatever, and it's an Israeli-made weapon. But it's one of the best ones. It has a good spring and everything, and it's like the best weaponry versus the American weaponry. Does that make him a Zionist? No, it doesn't.
Exactly. So why couldn't we Iranians use the same logic and get help from Israelis against this dictatorship? Would that make us
let's
why can't we do that? And in particular, let me just make another sense. In particular, Khomeini believed in Ummah, not nation. So he literally betrayed Iraqi Muslims.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on a little bit. So I'll give you some examples. When you go to, I live in Los Angeles, by the way. Okay. When you go to a protest, pro-Iran protests, a lot of them are waving Israeli flag. And when you have that conversation, it could turn into Islamophobia. And their pro-Israeli stance. You give them any stats, they're like, nope. Israel is the only democratic country out there. Israel supports our cause. Israel is the best country. And you might even find some Persian Jews amongst them. So what does that make the whole crowd when you're waving Israeli flag? Me going to a store, buying a candy from an Israeli Jew or Zionist Jew, that won't make me a Zionist. But if I go to a protest where you're supporting Israeli flag, you're waving that national symbol, whatever flag they have, right? That disgusting flag, the Star of David, whatever it has. And you're booty clapping and defending, and you're saying a whole bunch of shit to defend Israel because Israel is protecting your country or are doing the attack on your country. By default, that actually not only makes you Zionist, it makes you a traitor as well. Because there's a matter of the casualties as well. There's a matter of you asking foreign government to attack your country. You see what I'm saying? Me going to the store buying candy, I'm not doing anything. I'm just buying a candy for something to eat. I'm hungry. I mean, I just like eating candy sometimes. It's a different scenario.
So I had a question for Hadi, still here. Hadi, do you think that the Iranian people are capable of running a democratic government?
Not right now.
Do you mind explaining?
Well, something has to happen very organically for it to succeed, Danish. And you may say like, oh, well, how could that be with IRGC and stuff? But yeah, I mean, historically, any country that's had a sudden change into democracy has failed. I've never seen a country actually succeed at it whenever they suddenly switch systems like that. I mean, Iran has a hybrid system, so they might be used to parliamentary elections, but beyond that, it doesn't do well. Whenever it's like the sinew of your country, like in America and Canada, was founded based on the English standard of voting, or some semblance of it, then the country has hundreds of years to grow and formalize. Whereas in Iran, the IRGC and the rest of the government branches are so embedded in every branch of government that for you to dethrone it right off the bat and try to replace it with other bureaucratic systems and democratic systems, it won't work. It won't work right off the bat. It'll take like a period of grinding. And during that time, Iran will be weakened significantly. Iran will be set back many, many, many years. And then that's when the West will be like, let us help you. Let us help you with your democracy. We'll help you get started. Just give us your resources. Let us control your politicians. And then once Iran does all that, we'll see where it goes. But they'll be demilitarized for sure, just so that they're never a threat again. Because the West learned their lesson. You can't have a militarized Iran. It'll go against their agenda. And then you'll just become like one of the Gulf countries that just can't defend themselves against a couple of Shahed drones. That's all you're doing.
Janet, did you want to chime in? Is it Jean? Janet? How do you say it?
It's Jeanette. Thank you very much for letting me speak. I guess I have a question for Hadi. I don't know I have a friend from Iran, a very good friend from Iran. And she said in 1979, the Shah of Iran, before the Ayatollah Khomeini came to power, Iran she said it was very nice, the living was very good under the Shah, which he was more like a king. And I guess my question is, you said Iran has a hybrid system. What was the system like there with the Shah, and what is it like now? And can it change, I guess, is my question. Do the people want change? Because the things that I've been seeing on the news are the support of Khomeini.
Yeah, I'll help you with that. So, a lot of the people on the stage will agree with me, but Iran is not unfamiliar with democracy. Rather, Iran has gone through 4 significant changes since 1906, right? First, it was a monarch, right? It was a king, court. And then it switched after the Iranian constitution, and established in 1906, to a democratic system where the parliament will elect a president or prime minister. And at this point, it was Dr. Mossadegh who came into power, and people were actually happier with Dr. Mossadegh being their president than the king that was overthrown by Khomeini, believe it or not, because he actually came and saw the state of Iran in this basically in this deprived state where the Anglo-Persian or Anglo-Iranian oil company, which was being run by Britain, was actually sapping them of their resources, and in exchange only giving the Iranian people or the Iranian government 16% of their own oil. So imagine a foreign entity comes and takes your oil, and they basically give you 16%. So Mossadegh was a very brave soul. He did something very, very, very brave without having the right military capacity to, stick with it. He basically nationalized Iran's oil and told the British companies to fuck off. So now that same company is known as British Petrol today. BP, you might see their gas stations in the US some places. But the point is that what happened now is this Operation Ajax, which was basically the help of MI6, Mossad, and CIA, which was still forming at the time, to overthrow this democratic system Iran had and bring back the previous monarch. And at this point, the monarch comes back, and that's Reza Shah, the grandfather of this fat cuck in Washington that they want to come and bring back to Iran. So this guy comes, and he basically becomes a puppet of the West. And during this time, he begins to modernize Iran. He wants the females to dress a certain way. He doesn't want them to cover their hair. He doesn't like religious. He wants to secularize Iran. which essentially creates a negative effect in the sense that there's a brewing population of 1,000 years of Muslim heritage in the country, and now all of a sudden the king is being very brutish with his orders, saying that he doesn't like any kind of practice of Islam, which now starts creating the perfect scenario for an Islamic uprising. Not that I'm supporting it, I'm giving you the facts. So Iran went from being a monarch to a democracy, a successful democracy. The democracy was dethroned the minute it went against any kind of Western agenda. Then they brought the monarch back, and now we are at the time where Mohammad Reza Shah, the son of the Shah, previous king, takes over. And you can actually go look online, if you go on YouTube and press Mohammad Reza Shah, king of Iran, criticizing America and Israel, you can see actual interviews with BBC, 60 Minutes, and so on, where he starts saying, I'm against the Jewish lobby, the American politicians are controlled by Jews, I'm not going to listen to them. And he's starting to renegotiate the nationalization of oil, and he's pushing for 70% returns back to Iran, as opposed to his father that was basically getting table scraps from it. And they didn't like that. So what did the West do? They started propagandizing the next best leader, Jeanette. So now I'm showing you now the third time the West got involved in Iranian politics, right? And this is where Khomeini comes in. Khomeini was exiled by the king of Iran, the Shah, and he was living in a tiny little village in France with all these theocratic government theories that he was basically recording on cassette tapes and sending it off to the Iranian students and the university college kids and so on and so forth, while at the same time there was a brewing population that were dedicated Muslims that were still bitter about how the previous king was treating them. Now, the CIA got a hold of this, and believe it or not, the New York Times, imagine this terrorist Khomeini, right? The New York Times were posting his poetry, his views, looking like the best leader since sliced bread, and how the Iranian king had to go. This was all being propagandized at that time, right? And so they now, whenever the riots start, again, Mossad, MI6, CIA-backed riots against the Shah. The Shah tried to control the people. It led to a couple of massacres. There was the Black Friday massacre, famously known in 1978 during this time. And eventually, the Iranian king, the Shah, ran off with the people's money. Some say hundreds of millions, some say $1 billion. He ran off, right? And he leaves, he goes to Egypt. And they usher in the leader of the Islamic Revolution of Iran, which is Ayatollah Khomeini. They flew him on an Air France Boeing. So you can see he's being planted into Iran by Western powers. He's being protected. He's not a threat. Nobody wants to kill Khomeini at this point. The CIA considered Khomeini to be a minor nuisance. They thought they were going to bring a person with zero political understanding and ideology, and he was going to ruin the country. When the country gets ruined, they can step in and take control of the resources that they're bloodthirsty for. So that's the introduction of the Islamic Revolution of Iran. It came at a multipolar event. There was a brewing population that wanted to practice Islam again freely without being worried about the king of Iran punishing them or penalizing them about their headdress because he banned it. There was oil nationalization interest by the West. There was Ayatollah Khomeini, who the king actually killed his father, who had a lot of animosity towards the king. And now this creates the perfect storm for the next leader of Iran. Now, the other thing is the CIA did a documentary about 15 years ago saying we never understood how a guy in a turban who eats yogurt and onions for breakfast would be this big of a problem for us to deal with. And now we're in the age of, we're still in the aftershocks of the Islamic Revolution of Iran because they no longer want to be colonized. They basically stood their ground because of religious doctrinal motivations that they believe that Muslims should have a right to rule. They should not be controlled by Western powers. Does that help make things more vivid for you, Jeanette?
Yes.
Or did I speak?
Thank you very much, Hadi. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not surprised. The United States government has been involved in the CIA in lots of, what do I say? Covert operations and overthrow of governments in other countries.
Yeah, and Jeanette, it's not even exclusive
I'm not
to
surprised
Iran.
by everything you're saying. Yeah.
In Iraq, a lot of people don't know that Iraq in the early 1900s, they actually had a monarch system as well, named King Faisal. You can look him up. He was actually well-spoken, westernized king that was very powerful, very prosperous, and then they brought Saddam Hussein in.
nephew or something, right? I think.
They installed Saddam Hussein after him. I don't know how he got killed. I think it was another coup. I think it was a coup d'etat actually.
Oh, sorry, no. Yeah, no, I was thinking of someone different.
Yeah. The king of Iraq was a well-spoken gentleman in the 1900s. You would think this guy's an aristocrat, right? He wasn't some like Bedouin asshole Arab like Saddam Hussein. The CIA installed Saddam Hussein, right, and got rid of that monarch system, only for them to go back and say Saddam Hussein needs to go and destabilize the country, right? You see how the West manipulates the politics and the government systems of the Middle East over and over again? So you're going to keep seeing the same thing happen. And by the way, Muammar Gaddafi, remember Gaddafi in Libya when Obama overthrew him and they said you need democracy? He was installed by the West. Prior to that, it was a monarch system. So the Middle Easterners, not only did they grow up in monarchs and dictatorships, that's all they ever knew. For you to suddenly spring up democracy on a bunch of Bedouins that were never even thought about political theory is insane. Political theory is something that's evolved for the last 500 years. We still haven't yet to decide if democracy, as we have like capitalism and democracy, are the best way to rule the people. We are still like fighting for that position. But in the last 50 years, it's got the most traction for sure. Everybody thinks that's the best way. The dark side of democracy is that you don't understand that these constant conflicts around the world are what's fueling the economy we live in America. So it comes at a deep cost. It's just that it's not affecting us because we have the ability to prosper within our own means. But it's anti-humanitarian when you look at the dark side. You see that so many people are being deprived of their resources. They're destabilizing entire governments. They're pitting people against one another. They're controlling the narrative to make you feel like you're in this matrix of prosperity, right? So that's the dark side of things. It's not humanitarian whatsoever. But at this point, so many people are tired in Iran. They're like, yeah, well, we don't mind if other people die as long as we have the ability to just feed our people. And I totally understand that sentiment. I am not against that sentiment. The UN shows civil unrest not because of religious doctrinal governments. The UN has shown that when the index of the ability to earn money and spend on food goes past the 50% line, where 50% of your salary is going to food, people will rise up against their government, regardless of what government that is, whether it's a democracy, whether it's communism, whether it's dictatorship, whether it's a monarch. People will have an uprising when that threshold is made. Today in Iran, because of the U.S. sanctions, Jeanette, the average minimum wage worker spends 86% of their purse on food. 86%, that's 36% above the UN guidelines for when uprisings happen. So the average earner has to spend 86% of their income because of the US sanctions, because of what they've done to the Iranian economy, because of the destabilization of the economy. So this is more so than a religious war between Israel and Iran. This is Iran's last stand. Like, you've crippled us to rock bottom. We have nothing to lose at this point.
Okay. For about the last 20 years, the UN and the member states of the UN have sent into Iran the IAEA and the inspectors for the nuclear weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that these inspections have not been successful. Like, they always knew they were coming, when they were coming, and they controlled the results. What do you think about that? And then I've heard about defectors that were Iranian scientists who have said, oh, Iran is still producing nuclear weapons, and I don't know. I have not studied this a lot. I've not followed it a lot. What do you think about that? And as the basis for what Trump is doing?
And people from other side also, did they give their own narrative?
Well, Val, she's asking me, buddy. Do you want to answer for me? Do you think you're a good representative of what I would say?
You are being one side of the narrative, Hadi. You are not being honest.
I've been objective. I've been objective this whole time.
I want to hear both sides, okay? Because I'm an American, and my views are my own, but I don't agree with Donald Trump, and I don't agree with a lot of things that our government is doing. And there are a lot of people in our country who are very unhappy with him, Okay, so, I want to hear both sides. And I know I've been in rooms, in African rooms, where people are very unhappy with the United States. And so, I want to hear both sides. I don't want this to be a one-sided discussion. I was asking the first question was about an historical perspective of what has occurred there, because I don't have a really good understanding of Iranian history. So that's what I was asking. I'm not, if what he has said is unfair, I'd like to hear somebody else's point of view too.
Sure, no problem. So Hadi is in the other side. Then we have people like Velvet that support bombing of their own country. So let's hear from Velvet that supports Reza Pahlavi as a transitional body, and go on, Velvet. So let's hear your side.
Okay, I'll respect.
Yeah, no, I mean you said your piece, right, Hadi?
No, because she asked another question that I didn't answer.
Hello, my name is Velvet.
Yeah.
The
IAEA inspections, I didn't get a chance to.
Oh, okay. So Janet, he's gonna respond to the IAEA question, and then we'll move over to the guy that has a different position. So Velvet, hang in there. I'll give you the mic right after Hadi's done with the IAEA. Go on, Hadi.
Yeah, so under the concept of the primacy of war in Islamic doctrine, the supreme leader of Iran actually passed a decree, which is known as a fatwa, which is basically a jurisprudential ruling, something that the Pope would, do for the Catholics. And he said that it's forbidden because the nuclear war or the nuclear bomb can cost the life of innocent women and children. So Iran's leader has been vehemently against nuclear warfare. The idea that Iran is developing nuclear weapons has been a long-running talking point, just like the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq that never existed. Benjamin Netanyahu has spent the last 25 years, and we have videos of him from 25 years ago saying Iran is days away from a nuclear weapon. So it's been 25 years, Iran has been days away from a nuclear weapon. I'll let you sit down and think about what that means in Benjamin Netanyahu's head, but he's been campaigning against Iran for the last 25 years, prior to even Iran having the enriched uranium capacity to even have nuclear warheads, right? Now, we go a step further. Iran came to the negotiating table not once, not twice, but 3 times with the U.S., every single time willing to show all the evidence in the world that they do not have the means, or they're not trying to make nuclear weapons, and in fact de-enriching their uranium or getting rid of the enriched uranium that would allow them to have nuclear warheads. So the first time was under the Obama regime. I believe it was 2014 going into 2015. They signed the nuclear deal. The president of Iran, Hassan Rouhani, came to New York City. They had a long discussion. He was very pro-peace with the West, okay? He was moderate in all regards, and he wanted to work with Obama. And they signed a deal, and the sanctions were uplifted for Iran for less than a year because Donald Trump got elected, and the first thing he did is said, fuck Iran, and he tore up that entire agreement. So the idea that Iran is constantly trying to make nuclear warheads and being is disagreeing with the West, that is debunked immediately when you just look at the Obama agreement. Number 2, they came to agreements in 2025. They were going in and out. The IAEA inspection reports were all clear. And during the weekend where the final the 3rd or 4th level of negotiations was supposed to happen, Israel launched an attack, killing scientists and innocent lives in Iran, right? In the midst of negotiations, while Iran's air defenses were down to allow the ambassadors from the U.S. to come in and do the negotiations. So they got played once. So that was when the 12-day war started. They agreed to a ceasefire, and a year later, you got the riots, protests, and all these things happening. Iran came to the negotiation tables again, and again they were attacked, which was exactly 19 days ago. They were attacked, but this time it wasn't scientists that they killed. It was Iran's supreme leader, the one that actually issued the decree that it's forbidden for Iran to have nuclear weapons to begin with. So this narrative that this whole war and innocent American lives have to be lost is because of nuclear war or threats is nothing but a scapegoat for Donald Trump to lean on every time he does this. Iranian people got stabbed in the back 3 times, and now American soldiers have to go into a battle just like they went into Iraq for weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist. And now they have to bear the consequences of going into an unnecessary war and engaging in battle, and us losing our American soldiers and Iranians losing innocent lives, like the Tomahawk missile that landed on 100 and killed 165 or 170 girls because the school was close to a military base where military individuals would send their kids to elementary school while going to work for convenience sake. They bombed that school with a Tomahawk missile. And Donald Trump doesn't even accept that responsibility, even though it's a U.S. missile. They're not even willing to bear that, to say, like, we ended up killing innocent little girls at a school. Iran doesn't even deserve a condolences from the U.S. That's how low the media has depicted the Iranian people, even though we came to the negotiation table. That's my piece. Velvet, feel free to chime in from the other side.
Thank you,
there should be another side.
Well, you're great, man. In a bit. Wait, turn low. Hold on, Arash, shut up. Arash, please don't come off the mic, bro, respectfully, right? Don't attack. Don't attack on his. Hold on. I respect people. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they're gay, homosexual, lesbian, whatever they are. I respect all of them. Okay. So let's not do this, bro. Come on, man. Let's keep it civilized and be respectful. Velvet is a good brother. Unless he, wants to call him something else, that's a different story. But bro, stop coming off the mic. I'll move you down, man. Just come down. So Janet, Velvet is on the opposite side. He wants to see his country bombed, and that's what these people want. So go on, Velvet. It's on you now.
Okay, thank you. So, Janet, first I want to speak about the history of Mossad that Hadi was speaking about. So, actually, Mossad was not as, democratic sort of person that these people claim to be. He was the person, yes, but you need to know that just before the so-called coup d'etat by the United States and, United Kingdom, he abolished the parliament. And he also took the Ministry of Defense from Shah, which was the constitutional right of Shah. And he also exiled the sister and mother of Kim to, outside the country. And 4 days before the so-called coup d'etat, Shah had to run from the country because he was literally changing the regime and declaring a republic, against the constitution. So what he was doing was a coup d'etat. Did the British and CIA had their own interest regarding the oil? Yes, absolutely. But the point is, presenting what happened in 1953 as a coup d'etat, is exactly opposite of what actually happened. In fact, when Mossadegh, nationalized the oil 2 years before the so-called coup d'etat in 1953, there are multiple reports that you can refer to. Iran didn't have even the technology to use the oil industry. In fact, there is a book, Faces in the Mirror, in Persian, Chehrai Dar Aine, which has been written by sister of the Shah, Ashraf Pahlavi. And in that book, she explains with much detail, and I would really advise everyone to read that book if you want, that Iran, lost lots of its, benefits and income, not because companies were not selling the oil, but because Iran didn't have the tech to use it, so to refine it. So Mossadegh was doing it just for his own sake and his own personal benefits. The second point regarding the sanctions that, Ali was trying to present sanctions and as the root cause of Iranian people's, animosity between regime. This is such a false narrative. First, you need to know why the sanctions are in Iran. There was no sanctions before Iran took hostages from U.S. Embassy 1979, and the only reason for that was that because revolutionaries wanted the United States to return Shah to him to the court and humiliate him. That's why they took hostages from U.S. Embassy, and from then U.S. started putting one-sided, unilateral sanctions on the regime. But the global international sanctions just started in 2004 when all countries and IAEA discovered that the regime has a covert weaponized nuclear program, which even Russia and our allies of the regime didn't decline and deny, and also they didn't veto. They voted in favor of those sanctions in all of those resolutions in the Security Council. So first, you need to know why sanctions are in place. But second, the point is presenting sanctions and the economic situation as the root cause of the unrest in Iran is such a false narrative, because just as recently as 4 years ago, at what happened in 2022 during the Women Life Freedom Movement, people took to the streets not because of an economic problem. Just look at my picture, look at my avatar. Do you see these people who got blinded? They have all been blinded. All of them got blinded during and much more than that. In fact, United Nations has substantiated 580 people that got blinded just during the Women Life Freedom Movement. They were protesters, and the regime blinded them, because this regime doesn't just oppress you, they terrorize you. So you would be a lesson to others, so they wouldn't dare to attend in the protests. But my point is, during the Women Freedom Movement, people didn't take to the streets because of economic reasons. They were, chanting against the compulsory hijab. So was the case in 2009 during the Green Movement, and again, this was the case in 1999 when students took to the streets and chanted against Khamenei and against the regime. And also, people who are, presenting sanctions as the root cause of the economic situation are just, deflecting the fact that I am quoting the Secretary of Treasury of the United States, who was giving a testimony to the United States Congress a few months ago. He said that during past year, the regime has funded $1 billion to Hezbollah just during the course of the past 11 months. So presenting this sanctions as I said, as a root cause of economic situation is a partial narrative. Third, I just wanted to say that Rouhani was a moderate person as opposed to what Hadi was saying. Rouhani has Iranian blood on his hand, 1,500
her question was, why did America want to invade Iran? Nobody gives a fuck about internal Iranian.
I know, but he was.
You're making it. No, this is not why Donald Trump is invading Iran.
That's not true. I know the events that he's talking about, the freedom of life movement. No,
but that's not why the
those
U.S.
things
is
are
involved.
important.
That's not why the U.S. is involved right now.
The U.S. never stated that they are there for.
Not a single quote from Donald Trump
Not a
saying this is
single
why
quote.
we're in Iran. Not a
If you
single.
can reference anything.
Yeah, well, we were talking about the sanctions, I think, because Janet, I know you want to go into the details.
Yeah, I think I need to talk about 20 minutes or so. I will land in 2 minutes if I
Yeah,
can.
but you're not answering our questions. You're just demonizing Iran and saying that they deserve to be.
I'm not demonizing Iran. The regime is a demon. The regime doesn't need to be demonized.
I'll tell you what, Hadi, brother, just hang on a second, Arash. So I'm going to give him a minute and a half or something, and then Mo is going to respond to whatever some of the stuff was said. And then, Janet, you can make your own decision. I did give you some, you should ask him, does he support bombing his own country? Does he support sanctions on his own people? And you'll find out the true picture. This is where that's what makes me crazy, because about, how could you have this crazy position like that? You want sanctions on your people and whatnot. You see what I'm saying?
Can I just say one point to Janet? Janet, remember the George Floyd incident where that cop put his knee on the back of his neck and the whole, U.S. went up in flames because of the Black Lives Matter movement? Do you remember that?
Yes.
Would you be happy if someone came and bombed the U.S. because of the George Floyd movement? Because they said, wow, they mistreat black people, let's come bomb the U.S. Would you like that? That's exactly the point Melvin's trying to make. There's some atrocities in the country, and this happens in every country, therefore we should come bomb Iran. That's not what the story is. The story the government is going after is nuclear warheads and Iran being an existential threat to Israel. Those are the only two reasons. There's no other
That's
reason.
why NATO even not supporting that. That's why even NATO.
Let's do this. Let him vent it out for about a minute and a half. I know it's very triggering and bothering, right? It does boil people's blood. But Velvet, go on, spice up the stage. Let the boil blood. Let the blood boil. We want to get some people triggered here today. Go on.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So also, how he was trying to justify, a regime's stance in the nuclear negotiations. So the point that you need to consider, Janet, is that it's not only about the nuclear thing. I mean, the nuclear program is the cover-up for the regime, and they're always happy and open to negotiate about it. But you cannot separate the ballistic missile program and proxy funding program and the nuclear program. They are all integrated, and the regime never negotiates about it. Just look at what they're doing to the whole Middle East countries, Arab countries, and also to the Israel. And now they are, they're disrupting the U.S. economy, oil prices, global economy. The point is, such a regime couldn't be allowed to reach to a deterrence level, which never, no country around the world could dictate whether or not they can, proceed and develop their nuclear program or not. My point is, look at what is happening in North Korea. No one can dictate them what they can do and what they cannot do, because they have reached the deterrence level. And the whole world, from a global security standpoint, we couldn't afford this regime reaching to that standpoint. And the point is that we need to consider is that nuclear program is not their only deterrence strategy. Ballistic missiles could be actually are as catastrophic as nuclear bombs. And unfortunately, Obama and Biden were stupid enough to make deals for lifting up the sanctions due to some compromisement. I don't know what's the right word, in terms of the nuclear program, but they never said anything about the ballistic missile program. So this is why the United States has attacked the regime. And finally, from my standpoint, I mean, I had some other points to share, but because of, although Hadi spoke perhaps, 3 or 4 times more than me, but I will land with this. Why I support bombing the regime? Because I don't expect
bombing the Iranian people because you're idiots. The Iranian people, not the regime. You support bombing the Iranian people, not the regime.
Yeah, Janet, why many Iranians are not only opposing the regime, in fact, 80% of Iranian people are
30 more seconds, man, 30 more seconds. Say something controversial, man. More controversial. We need more, we need more blood to be boiled.
I'm trying to be, if these people do not interrupt me, I will land in less than 1 minute.
Heat up their blood.
Yeah, I'm doing so. So not only Janet, over 80% of Iranian people, based on a survey conducted by a very credible institution 2 years ago, oppose the Islamic regime. But also many Iranians support the bombing. The day that the war started, you could see that Iranian women inside Iran, they were dancing. Iranian students inside, even I'm sure Hadi himself has seen those videos, that the students were cheering, they were celebrating in the schools. Because, again, I don't expect you to have this background in your mind, but from my own internal, perspective, as a person who has spent his entire life inside Iran, since 1999, we have tried every possible way you can imagine. Peaceful protests, silent protests, loud protests, civil disobedience, labor strikes, attending in meaningless elections, which we call selections, because the elections in Iran and in the regime are for officials who do not have real authority. The whole authority is concentrated in the hands of the supreme leader. Again, this Hadi person himself wouldn't even deny this. So the elections are meaningless. But the point is, people are desperate. Okay, this wasn't our first choice.
10 seconds, brother. Come on, brother. 10 seconds.
It's still not your choice, Velvet. It's still not your choice.
Brother, how many bot cars did you purchase in the past? How many bot cars did you purchase in the past?
Let's not do that, please. Look, Arash, this is his personal business. If he did do it, that's his personal business. Just like the Rabbi Shamuli's dildo shop got attacked during the last 12-day war, that was their personal business. Let's not go down that path, okay? We need to keep it kosher. It's yes, more. So let's try to keep it kosher and go and respond more. And
where do you get that information from? Kosher media?
brother. Hold on.
Yeah, first of all, Velvet, please back channel your dealer to me. You really consume good stuff. You really, I would like to get taste of it. Please let me know who is your dealer and what do you consume.
Mo, just respond to what you have to say. Instead of,
Can you shut up? Can you shut up? Danish, can you shut up?
Let's not do the personal attacks.
Yeah, but
I just asked.
Danish, this room offers limited freedom of speech. You don't want democracy? I offer democracy in my room. Limited
we're
freedom of
having
speech.
a healthy conversation. I don't know why you allow.
It's kosher. Go on, Mo. Go on.
Okay. The second thing, Velvet, you talked for a couple minutes without saying anything, and that's really ridiculous. You just created a collage of nonsense, and to be honest, Janet, probably you as an American, you know what is manufacturing consent. And people like Danish and Velvet are the pawns, and some of them, like Velvet, their emotions are just used to manufacture the consent for you Americans to sympathize with your government invading a country for a third country, for Israel, and for Israel's interest. And that's it. I don't see anything about freedom, democracy, or anything else in the war narrative. It is all about nuclear plan. And Donald Trump is an arrogant guy. He withdrew from the deal that we made with Obama because we made it with Obama, and he thought he can do a better deal. But he's stuck. Right now he's stuck and he's desperate to move out. No one is supporting him because everybody knows this is the fight for Israel, and even it's not about, it's about Israeli dominance in our region, and that's it. And these people, Pearl or whoever, I know, Velvet, Danish, or whoever talks about Reza Pahlavi and supports that, they are just pawns. They just want to convince you that Islamic regime is absolute evil there, and you as an American has a duty to free us, we bunch of illiterate Badawit Middle Eastern.
Wait a minute. You're saying things that aren't true, that I don't believe. I have lots of Muslim friends, and I don't have the same view of Islam that maybe many Americans have. Okay, so please don't
Americans,
say that.
I didn't mean necessarily you. It's just Americans.
I'm sorry.
No, the summary is someone like Velvet, someone like Danish. They are manufacturing consent for Americans to support this
some
war,
of the things
and
he said, I know about. Those things are true. There's nothing
but you
that
are
he
not.
said that
Why
is
you
not
are
true.
fighting? Are you engaging in this war because of freeing Iran from Islamic Republic? So then what?
I never said that both US and Israel have their own objectives. Of course, no one denies.
I don't agree with that.
What
I don't
don't you
believe in
agree?
freeing nations, and I don't believe in, and my mother doesn't believe in what George W. Bush did, with his mission accomplished and the pursuit of democracy around the world. I don't agree with that. I think countries should be entitled to their own form of government. And I don't agree with the invasion of Venezuela either. What Donald Trump did is wrong.
Do you agree with attacking Iran?
I'm not sure I agree with going along with Israel and attacking Iran. I don't agree with that. I don't like it, to be very honest.
So what is your question related to the conflict?
I'm trying to keep my personal viewpoint out and trying to ask intelligent questions and get, honest answers. And I want to hear from everybody because I want to know the whole story. I don't want to just hear what some people are telling me. I want to know what is the perspective of the Iranian citizen that lives on the street. What is the perspective of an American, what is the historical perspective? I want to know everything because I want to have a balanced view and an informed understanding of the situation.
No, I really appreciate your standpoint, but I would like to also expose that what you are hearing is part of manufacturing consent in US, because I don't think US has any intention. By the way, one historical fact, Velvet, you are an Uncle Tom. Even in disclassified CIA document, they call the coup quasi-legal act of restoring the king. You can go and check. And how Uncle Tom you are that you think that wasn't a coup. Even CIA doesn't call it as legal as you proudly calling it. So that's my point. That's my point of view, and I think these people here, their emotions are weaponized to bomb Iran, to bomb Iran and create another terrorist hub in the region and destabilize the region, and also it's serving Israeli Zionist colonial project in our region, and that's it. That's my point of view.
Thank you, Mo. Thank you, Mo. So, Janet, hold on, Arish, please, hang on. Janet, just like you're an American, I'm an American. I'm based out of Los Angeles, right? That's where a lot of Raza Pahlavi scumbags live, right, in Los Angeles. Every time their country gets bombed, they're cheering. In relate to the coup, there's been multiple times where the West actually infiltrated inside Iran, multiple times. I mean, if you go back as far as the Shah, for the number one Shah, he actually passed a law where women weren't even allowed to wear hijab. He wanted to modernize the whole culture inside Iran. Then you would have women, wearing like modern clothing, and and anybody wore hijab, they would get, they would get arrested or whatever. And then and he was allowing British to steal the oil. So you had this guy. He was democratically elected. His name was Dr.
Democratically elected. All democratically elected.
HBA, it's not on you. Mute up. And stop calling us terrorists, and then have more ground. Oh, I don't curse. Just stay muted until it's your turn. Otherwise, don't come off the mic. Otherwise, you're gonna get moved down. So his name was Dr. Mossadegh, right? He was a decent human being. If you read the book or whatever, right? You come.
I'm gonna come off the mic.
Okay, mute up, please. Okay, sit in the audience. Thank you. See, this is what I did, HB. I could do this to you as well. So don't come off the mic. So Janet, his name was Dr. Mossadegh. And in 1951, he actually nationalized the oil. 1953, did the coup. Coup was called Operation Ajax, and they toppled it. They got rid of him because he was, the West didn't like him, because why would he nationalize oil? That means British could not steal the oil anymore. And then as the time went by, you have the second Shah, the son of the first Shah. He did a whole bunch of atrocities. The activists would get arrested. A whole bunch of people would get arrested if they're protesting against his leadership. And he was basically a dictator. So there was an entity called Salak. It was like a secret police that was trained by the British, and even Israel played a role. And what they used to do, it will pick up activists, torture the shit out of them, even burn them alive, do a whole bunch of atrocities against them, and lock them up, and sometimes even without due process. And this was done under the second Shah. This was like the second time. You have the leader of Iran getting flown in from France during the revolution, which happened in 1979. They flew him in Air France flight. It was a private Air France flight or whatever. But and America played a role as well with the intel. The Shah started to become problematic for the West, so that's why they let him go. They brought this new leader into Iran, and they just planted him. I'm not going to say planned. They just, they did a regime change. This was the third time. Fourth time, and right now they're in the process of doing regime change again. In my opinion, so far it's 4 times, and I'm sure there's other times as well where the West played a role. I mean, the West always plays a role, especially Mossad and CIA, with their protest. Even in relate to Masa Amini, there was a case. Which one was it? I actually kind of looked into it a long time ago. During the Masa Amini protests, there was like 1 or 2 protests that were large and it became violent, and there was some infiltration that did happen from Mossad, right? Because America and Israel has a problem with Iran. American foreign policy is dependent upon Israeli foreign policy. And Israel says Iran bad, America, Israel good. And America depends on that yes, this is the way to go. We gotta always be in attack mode. During the Obama's administration, Obama did relax some of these sanctions or whatever, right? And let them thrive and live and let them do more business. But then all of a sudden, you got this pedophile called Trump came into power. No offense to anybody that voted for Trump here. In my opinion, his name is on Epstein file, so I would call him, I like to call it spade a spade. So he, what he did, he started putting sanctions, and it became more and more stricter sanctions on Iran, and started hurting the people. It didn't hurt the regime. Every time there's sanctions on a regime, on any country, it actually hurts the people. It doesn't hurt the regime. But Velvet here would sit here, and he's like, yeah, I support more sanctions on my people. This is a problem. And we have another guy called HBA. He supports Son of Shah, the guy that lives in America. And he cheers every time his country gets bombed. And they've killed over about 1,000 and some change people in Iran. They bombed a school. If you were to ask some of these people, do you condemn America for bombing the school? They're like, no. Why was there a school near the military base? In America, we got about 160 to 170 schools near military installations, near military bases, because the kids go there because of what? The kids are actually the U.S. soldier kids. Like, they're serving the military or whatever. They live over there, and the kids got to go to school. So these people would, make up this bullshit argument, and they will justify the killing of over 150 little girls. That happened.
I need 30 seconds, brother, please.
You need 30 seconds? Okay, it's 30 seconds on you, and then I need some smoke now. So we're going to give it to this HBA character. I'm going to go back and forth to this idiot. Yes, sir, Rush.
Awesome. So here's the thing. What impact this Velvet person has? Like, your country is getting bombed, and you're worried about the world economy suffering because of disruption of oil. Your country is under sanctions, and the cancer patient inside Iran cannot get the drugs that they want, the medicine that they want, and you're worried about the world economy. Now is suffering for 10 days. And your people are suffering. They've been suffering for the last 20 years for the maximum pressure sanctions but imposed by America and Israeli agenda over your country. People barely can put a food on table, and then people are suffering. They have 3-4 jobs in order to pay their bills, and you're worried about the oil disruption in the world. Your country is getting bombed. The school kid, the 167 beautiful 6-year-old, 7-year-old girl got bombed and dead, and even governor of California, everybody's condemned it. Even a spokesperson of House of Representatives condemned it and said we need to investigate this more. And you're trying to justify saying, oh, I'm worried about the world's economy that are suffering because oil disruption, and it happened because of this regime. You're not worried about 3,120 people so far, civilians, got killed since the war started by Israel and America, and Israel wants to get rid of all the rivals in the region in order to expand their countries and follow their agenda of Israel, greater Israel. What piece of shit you are. I am ashamed of being a fellow Iranian for you, man. Like, you're a piece of shit. You have a feminine voice, so I get it.
Tear him down to the hallway because he attacks personally.
Can you put me in the queue? Amir, can you put me in the queue?
Gab, okay, sure. So it's gonna, Arash, are you done? And please, brother, please, I ask you, if they look, if some of these Raza Pahlavi supporters are claiming homosexuals, retarded, gay, morphos, whatever they are, or bisexual, whatever you want to call it, or with the female voice, please.
I didn't use it as a
I allow.
they're gay, right?
Like Amos that comes in here, he's Israeli Jew. Zionist, he always wants to coexist. I want to be able to coexist in this room and allow all voices in here. Please don't do that, okay? No discrimination. Even the Constitution of the U.S. says no discrimination. So please, and even if you're Muslim, there's no discrimination in Islam as well. Okay.
Sorry, Velma, you can freely use your butt plug if you
So I'll give you.
No, come on, Arash, Amir. Sorry, Amir, but please do not attack people. I mean, whatever he's feminine, he's not. I mean, what's feminine? So like, the only radiant sounds feminine to me. That's not just feminine.
Especially
and if
when
he's
they talk
feminine,
like this,
Thanks,
very feminine.
whether Velvet is feminine or not, I don't care. He's just a person speaking, and we should respect him. Really.
Yep. Thank you. That's good. So we should respect Velvet. And Gab, it's on you. HBA, I'm gonna come to you, and I'm gonna go and. Gab is before you watch. Look at the BTR. He's above you. You're beneath his feet. You should stay beneath his feet. Go on, Gab.
Thank you.
You're not human. You're just an animal. You were cursing at me yesterday. Go on. I still allow animals on my stage. Go on, Gab.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me time to speak. See, the thing is that it's very clear the intentions of the United States when Donald Trump came in. Before Donald Trump came in, there were such programs like the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, right? We know that there was the Nuclear Proliferation Acts and programs and stuff like that, things that really did was a matter of concern for the United States. And so what the United States has lacked to do is utilize their soft power when it comes to Iran, right? And soft power does go a long way, especially for countries like Iran, especially for rogue nations, for regimes, for dictatorships, for a lot of different countries that are very different from the West. So, but when Donald Trump came in, what's the first action he took? He scrapped the entire plan. They were somewhat successful in limiting the usage of uranium for nuclear weapons and everything, but this is just clear that these are war-hungry people that merely want to overthrow the government instead of utilizing peaceful ways of trying to make some sort of transitional phases in order to improve the country. And instead they increase more sanctions, right? They're trying to bring the country down to its knees. And then there's also the hypocrisy of, well, if and they never planned on trying, the United States and the West never planned on trying to make relations better with Israel, right? No such things. I have not seen any sort of steps going towards that place, towards that area. And so how could that happen whenever Iran and Israel, both consider each other as enemies? How could, and Iran says, well, what about Israel? They're developing their nuclear weapons, their nuclear warheads. Why can't we? They know that they're enemies, right? And so it's very clear that obviously this is not the correct way. And the fact that Israel is the one directly involved in all of these issues, in this specific issue, they have ulterior motives of trying to ruin the fabric of Iranian society, of the culture, of the traditions. And some of you may think that, well, that doesn't matter, that's nothing, it's just social stuff. But trust me, the social stuff goes a very long way, okay? So I just want to say that you want to have a different regime, you want to have a different government, that's totally fine. Do it your own way. There's other ways to do it. But like this This is insidious. This is exactly how the United States and Israel is to countries, by either doing the Iron Maiden in Ukraine or doing the Iron Maiden, or destabilizing the country when it happened in Kazakhstan as well some years ago, when they try to overthrow the government, when they have velvet revolutions, like in Armenia, for example. And what do? They cut off all the testosterone in the country completely, and then it just becomes another Los Angeles or something. This is what it is that they really want to do.
You live in Los Angeles, Kev?
I do.
Okay, I think I should talk to you. Okay. Well, but I will give you the mic. Just hang on a second. I gotta get HBA's voice. Even though I do not like his existence on this planet, but I still want to give him a voice. I go on HBA.
Okay. First of all, I want to make one thing clear from the yesterday. My profile right now, there is a news by they call it International Quran News. Okay, it's from Iran. As you can see, this is .ir. It says in Iranian, in Farsi, it right. 79% of the Basij offices are in mosques. Okay, this is the first thing that I wanted to say. Janet, because you, Amir started lying too much, I want to make you clear. Okay, first of all, about the Mossadegh. During the Shah era, there wasn't any democratically elected prime minister. According to constitution,
Janet, according to the historian, it's different to this idiot. Oh my God. Stop doing revisionist history, HB. Stop doing revisionist history.
I mean, there wasn't.
He won the election by Majlis. Majlis was the one they elected him.
No.
Okay, I mean, go on, school your bullshit, man. I hate your skull.
I mean, if you want,
but you just gotta stop.
I want
revisionist history.
To your comments.
Stop doing revisionist history. Stop doing
If you want me to talk, you should.
I have to correct. I have to go back and reconnect your stupid narrative.
Okay, later you can.
Janet, I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and I want you to read it and decide for yourself instead of listening to this idiot, man. Go on, speak.
Janet, there wasn't any democratically prime minister during the Shah era. It was the prime minister introduced by Shah or by parliament or vice versa, and then approved by Shah. Okay, the coup has a meaning. The coup happens when the bottom of the system, for instance, a general and a prime minister, make a coup against the top of the system. Shah, leader, president or something, not vice versa, okay? This is another lie, okay? This is another lie they mentioned. And about the revolution in Iran happened or something, or about this time that he mentioned, all the time, no, it wasn't like that. Like many countries, when some changes happens in the system, the foreign countries try to get aligned with that. When revolution happened in Iran, yes, there was a revolution, but at that time, the powers in the world powers like USA and others tried to get along with that, and they said Hoizer to actually neutralize the military, and Khomeini came. From that time, they started to say this to America, this to Israel. Okay, they occupied the American embassy, they hostage more than around 400 days of the diplomats and ambassador and other people in that, and the conflict started. And they've had the conflict with Israel because actually most of these guys that they did revolution, most of these terrorists, they trained in Lebanon or in by the Yasser Arafat at that time. They poured to Iran.
Guys, bro.
This is an alternative history. This is an alternative universe.
Revisionist history, man, again.
Okay. Now, these guys, as you can see, they are defending the Islamic Republic.
I'm not defending Islamic Republic. I don't support it.
They are defending Islamic
Put the link in the chat about Dr. Musaddiq.
Okay, Dr. Musaddiq. Hey, Henry, go home, man. Get lost. Man, if you give me time to talk, I should talk.
I said, like, nothing you have to sanad. Like, you make stuff up.
No, history. You make stuff up. You see, my profile is like you mentioned yesterday.
Because this is the
first time. What is this you making up, man?
Alternative universe history, for fuck's sake. Like,
I can't believe this.
Yasser Arafat.
So, Janet, in relation to...
Yasser Arafat, the most failure Palestinian revolutionist is the one who taught Imam Khomeini. Like, please, I really want to listen to him. Like,
dude, these are the same people that India. They say that
Imam Khomeini.
These are documented, and even there is a interview.
I put a document in the chat. I want you to take it whatever document.
There is an interview with Imam Khomeini that the interviewer asked him, "Did you get the guns and weapons from the?"
this is why we need a secret government.
Janet, you see, they don't allow.
Be like this.
Yeah, Janet, it is the case. It is the case.
Janet, should we allow somebody that's doing revisionist history? I put the link in the chat. And my sources actually goes back to historians, by the way. It's backed up by the historians about Dr. Musaddiq. Should we allow somebody that says bullshitting out of bias because he hates IRGC? That's it.
Janet, if I said
we can't do revisionist history, bro.
And Janet, just to let you know, Yasser Arafat gave up 80% of the Palestinian land.
I don't care if they like Arafat or not. At that time, they trained Mujahideen, MEK, and they trained Chamran and others. We know better than you.
So confused right now.
Why are you even talking about MEK right now?
Because they trained them. Yeah, Musa Khiyabani went to the Lebanon and
انقلاب و چریک‌های فدایی خلق و مجاهدین
Velvet English, please. Do not speak in Janet, disrespectful to a lot of people that are non-Farsi speakers, man. Come on.
Okay,
so don't they were the ones who made the revolution, not the mullahs. That's the fact.
All right. Is Dr. Musaddiq's story correct? There was no coup that happened in 1953. He did not nationalize the oil?
Exactly.
He did not nationalize the oil. It was my father. It was my dad.
Don't interrupt me. Okay, don't interrupt me to continue.
My Baba was there, and he's the one that did the nationalize the oil, right?
Don't interrupt me to continue. Janet, these guys are supporting IRGC and
bro, I don't support IRGC, bro.
They killed thousands of people who are
who are protesting the government. There is it's documented and it's confessed by their authority and their leader, and they mentioned that they killed them, and no, they like a victim. Oh, they attacked us from the beginning. From the beginning, Janet. From the beginning, they
You should be in a sitcom or some of those.
You know, the Janet, they wanna change their story, but there are some realities.
History.
Yeah,
You should change their history.
I said to you, they can say whatever they want to say about the
Oh my God.
but the meaning of the coup is
It's
obvious.
so hard to listen to some idiot.
Obvious.
Oh my God.
The meaning of the coup is obvious. Coup is not from the top to bottom, from the bottom to top. Okay, Janet, they try to make the leftist narrative put in your mind. No, it's not gonna work. At that time, why U.S. helped?
I'll give you 40 seconds to land, man. You gotta land, bro. You gotta land.
Okay, 40 seconds. Janet,
40 seconds.
They are supporting IRGC and Islamic Republic because they think Islam gonna get hit. They killed thousands of Iranians. They killed around 600,000 of Syrian people. These guys, and these Muslim guys, these Amirs supporting them, and this Hadi, we are dealing
Time. Look at the guy in my picture.
Take a break.
Look at my pictures. Time.
Take another
40 seconds is not the end. 40 seconds. So, Janet, I would suggest you don't listen to me or this guy. Do your due diligence. How many times has the U.S. infiltrated into internal affairs of Iran? It's too many times, right? Velvet, I will give you the mic. I want to get some new people on here. We have, how do you say your name?
Lucet.
How do you say it?
Lucet.
Lucet, okay. Would you like to chime in? Are you Iranian?
So I'm not Iranian, but I just wanted to say a few things. I do know some history. I want to point out I'm not Iranian. I do not hold the rights to think or to say what.
No, you do have the right. In my room, everybody's allowed. You have an opinion. Go on.
What I mean is it is.
In my kingdom, everybody's allowed. Go on.
Thank you. Iranians are the ones who should choose what type of government they need. So this is not what I'm trying to say here. What I want to mention a few things from history, and if an Iranian, you guys are Iranians, you can correct me once I'm done, please. This is for non-Iranians, Americans who are here in this room. There's a history between Iran and the West, going back to World War I, World War II, the tension, just because Iran chose both wars not to enter both wars, Iran was punished by famine. Both combined, about 16 million people died of famine. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. About 16, maybe more.
19 million.
Thank you. Second, Iran does not have an Independence Day. This is probably one of the oldest countries in the world that respects government, that has had government, the very first ones that established government. Plus, they have never been a colony of any country. It's history. So there's the tension between the West and Iran. This is why there's a reason why there's a government today in place. I am not saying it's right or wrong. It is up to Iranians to decide. But the tension is there, the history is there. Again, Iran does not have an Independence Day. That means Iran was never a part of.
Are you from Azerbaijan?
No, I'm not. I'm Armenian.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Another thing, again, this is for, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is for Americans, okay, to know the history. Also,
Yeah, she's just
Please
finished.
continue comment. The lady was asking, she wanted to know what Iranians think. There are videos, yes, there are instances when you see people dancing. I think it's not okay for grown people to be happy that their people are being bombed, their children are being killed. And there are also videos of
innocent people. HBA, she's speaking.
And let everyone talk.
And it is also not okay for a grown person. We're 2026. We have witnessed things like this. It is not okay for a grown person to think that this war is about a regime change. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Look, I agree. I'm going to say something really quick. We have anybody new? We have Carl here. I think he hasn't said a word. Carl, I'll give you the mic, brother, and then Velvet, I'm going to come back to you. Just hang on a second.
Well, listen, I would love to play after Velvet, if you allow.
Sure. So,
thank you, sir.
how do you say it? Lalut? How do you say her name?
Listen.
Listen, okay. Are you in America?
Yes.
Okay. So, as an American, me as an American, as a Canadian, the problem I'm having, it's very hard pill to swallow when we have a pedophile as a president of America called Donald Trump. We have, people getting shot at with the ICE. People are not able to protest at the college, university, getting arrested. Now, say if I were to approach Canadian government to topple the American government, would that make me a traitor? The answer is yes. It would make me a traitor. Just like that, I want you to, I want everybody in this room to look into the HBA here, Velvet here, and there's a lot of Reza Pahlavi supporters here. Reza Pahlavi is son of Shah. This guy, and whoever supports him, they want America and Israel to bomb their country so that way they can celebrate while there's civilians dying over there. And I don't think regime is going to get toppled because it's always the people. Even in related to sanctions, it's always the people. But your tax dollars, my tax dollars, if you're an American, your tax dollars, my tax dollars are being used without, against their will, right? To attack Iran, to provide the intercepted missiles to Israel, intercept missiles to other nations. The money is being spent. Each one of those defense systems that's being used, it's called a THAAD defense system. It costs the U.S. tax dollars about $1.1 billion to $1.5 billion. And each one of those missiles that shoots down the Iranian missile, it costs anywhere from $4 million to $12 million each. So I think we have a pretty big problem on our hands. This is why we don't want these Iranian people, these Reza Pahlavi supporters. Right? There are a lot of good Iranian people that are centrists. They don't believe in attacking their own nation to do regime change. It's up to the Iranian people to do regime change. I agree. But at the same time, these people should not be begging America and Israel to do the attack on their country, because if they're asking Israel is a welfare state, right? It gets money, the aid, and all of this shit from America. Again, American taxpayer, tax dollars. Either way, or if America hits Iran directly, again, tax dollars. And it's very problematic. We can't have this shit go on and on. And this is why I ask these beggars, these disgusting wild creatures, Reza Pahlavi is cunts on this app and on real life, that go do your own fight. Go fight your own fight. Stop begging, America and Israel. Because Israel is a welfare state. It lives off Americans' tax dollars. And that's what I was trying to get at. And these people are demonic pieces of shit, like HBA. And Velvet, he wants a transitional body as Reza Pahlavi.
Stop shit, motherfucker.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
Bastard. Shut the fuck up, bastard.
Okay, Courtney.
Bastard, motherfucker.
So, hold on. Yes. How do you say your name again? Lucer. So, Lucer, I agree, and guess what? And do you hate Israel?
That's an interesting question. I don't hate it. I mean, hate is too strong.
Okay, let's talk about the facts.
To give them, yeah.
Let's talk about facts. Israel gives weaponry to Azerbaijan.
Yes.
Israel gives weaponry to Azerbaijan to attack your people. You agree, right?
Yes.
Okay. Israel, every year, there's a bill in the Knesset inside Israel to recognize Armenian genocide. Do you know they never recognize it?
Yes.
They deny it.
I know.
And Israel
is the one who helps Armenia?
Israel is the mother of the fucking.
Oh my God! We need to coexist.
Israel used Azerbaijan in this war to locate its weaponry and whatever against Iran, while killing my people directly. Killing my people.
You should hate the Jewish state. I don't know why don't you hate it. If it was my people, I would hate it.
Anti-Semitism.
How can I tell you to hate the Jewish idea? I mean, not the people. I'm talking about the state called Israel, the Jewish state.
I mean, I know it's the law of the nature. It's the law of the
my blood about the Armenian genocide. Why does it boil your blood?
Because it's too much of a good feeling. Hate is too strong feeling to have for this.
Who say?
Okay, how can I add blink to your everyday agenda?
Twice if you hate Israel. Blink twice if you hate Israel.
Yeah, blink to it.
There you go.
I'm not scared. What goes up must come down. That's it.
Oh, she's quoting Nas now. You listen to Nas?
No, I can't.
Goes around, comes around, my N-word.
No, what goes up must come down. This is
my N-word, yeah. No, that's a song from Illmatic, Nas. You should look.
Okay, all right. Carlos, I'm gonna come to you, bro. I want to give it to Velvet. Please, if you hear Velvet's voice, please do not attack him on his voice, regardless of how it sounds, female, non-female, male. Well, it doesn't matter. Please.
Every voice matters.
Every voice matters, every opinion matters, every perspective matters in this space, and I don't really give two shits if you're IRGC, non-IRGC, centrist, whatever the hell you're, terrorist, Zionist, scumbag, whatever you are, you're all allowed. But this is why this room is, people like this. I mean, even Kay told me about it. Kay left, okay. Go on, Velvet, it's on you, and then I'm going to give it to Carl.
2 minutes without interruption, please.
You can't make it shorter because my attention span is 60 seconds.
Speak for minutes and minutes and no one interrupts you. I would appreciate
Okay, go on.
But on one condition, Amir, that he never interrupts anyone when they...
Yeah, you would have to do the same. Okay,
I never interrupt. I hardly interrupt.
You have in the past, by the way.
Very hard, very rarely. Okay, so to Lucer and Janet, I just want to, ask you to see the difference. These people, even Amir himself, tries to antagonize me, trigger me with regard to my voice.
Oh my God.
It is as discussed.
I'm on your side. I'm on your side.
No, you are not. No, you shouldn't interrupt me. And I don't.
I never left.
Amir. It was just my comment.
You hurt my feelings, well, but anyway, you definitely hurt my feelings. I'm about to cry. Let me go on mute and cry, man.
Amir, as for a grown-up person, this is as outrageous as making mockery of someone's face. This is very rude. But anyway, I want to mention 3 points. First, Janet, none of the Iranians who are cheering for this war. Cheering is a strong word. But for any Iranian who sees this war as the only option is not too naive to, not to understand that both the United States and Israel, they all have their own ulterior motives. No one, takes action for the sake of, any other nations per se, including Iranian people. Of course, it could be because of oil. Of course, it could be because Israel doesn't want to have an existential threat in Iran. So they have their own agenda, of course. If they wanted to help us, they would have taken action well before when we urged them to, stop, and not just the United States and Israel, the whole world, to stop legitimizing and normalizing this regime. But every time that we had the courage to take to the streets, they kept negotiating with this regime, kept making deals with them, and just issuing the statements, empty-worded statements that we stand with Iranian people, and then lifting up the sanctions from them. We have always asked them to expel the diplomats of the regime. They never do that. So we know that they are not taking action for the sake of us. As it pertains to the school, I would 100% condemn United States if either following the cases are true, either on purpose or they have not done the required due diligence. In either of those circumstances, I would 100% condemn them. But I would condemn without an if the Islamic regime for two reasons. Because first, they situated the school beside a very important IRGC base in Minab, and second, because those were the ones who brought the war to our country. The point is, Janet, I want to make something clear. During the course of the past 47 years, Iranian people have had no agency in Iran. And if it wasn't for the policies of the regime, this war wouldn't have happened in the first place. So you need to know that the supreme leader in Iran, the dictator Ali Khamenei, whoever is in position right now, he head of the judiciary system, the head of the state media, all military commanders in IRG's army, in police, the Guardian Council, the assembly of experts, everyone, even the president and the members of the parliament are pre-approved by the Guardian Council, who are directly approved, appointed by the supreme leader. People have no role. So if it wasn't for the policies of this regime, who were not ready to, compromise and give up their nuclear ambitions, 100 meters underground in Fordo, which they claimed to be peaceful, which was not. In 2004, Russia and China even confirmed that it is not peaceful. The United States and Israel wouldn't have had an excuse to attack Iran, but they brought this war to Iran. So if anyone is this much concerned about casualties of civilians, they should ask and blame the IRGC and the regime. I have a genuine question from you, Janet and Loret. Did Donald Trump ask for our permission, Iranian people's permission to attack Iran? No. Did we have any authority to bring this war to Iran? No. The only people who could stop this war were IRGC. But guess what? They are still resisting. They're rather, let the whole country burn rather than laying down their weapon, although they know that they are not legitimate. Okay, that's the point. Yeah.
Okay, can I explain now?
Amir. Sure. Faya, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
You'll be here for about 10-15 minutes?
Yeah, of course. Sure.
Okay, so the queue is, look, Khalid's going to go, then Ali, and then Taco, and then Carlos, Amir. We could just do the PTO order, and then hear everybody out.
Sure.
Thank you. I'll be here just for about 10 minutes. I just need that.
Take your time.
I mean, I'm not gonna say a lot. I'm just gonna say like a few words. Number one, God bless Iranian people. Number two,
it's on call, it's on call, not on Carlos, brother.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
El call. Yeah, I'll give you the mic, brother. She'll give you the mic. Go on, El.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay. Like, these people are really, really funny. Like, they remind me of these people who wanted to re-enter Gaza above the Israeli tanks. Like, the Israeli tanks is gonna pave the way and then destroy the resistance and then give them the control all over the Gaza Strip. And then there will be Oslo Agreement and they will live happily ever after, and then they will liberate Palestine with love, roses, and chocolates, and hugs and kisses. Like, to be honest, the most accurate comment that has been about these people in this room was by our brother Paddy, when he said they have really a big trauma. Like, Baba, you didn't allow me to open an OnlyFans. Baba, you don't allow me to suck fucking dick. Oh, Baba, you don't allow me, blah, 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 blah. Like, for fuck's sake, you're talking about your homeland. your homeland, that you say that you love, that you say that you care about these people, you say you care about these children, but on the specific missile that comes from anyone, you're ready to lay down your weapons, bend down, show your ass to everyone, and oh, please fuck me, but don't kill me. Like, are you fucking serious? Like, from what I know about Iran and the Iranian history, Iranians are full of pride. Like, the most beautiful thing about Iranians, like ancient Arabs, they have pride. They have manners. Like, I don't care if you attack my house, I don't care even if I'm gonna die, I will fight you. Even if I'm gonna be annihilated, I will fight you. I'll never live in disgrace. But these people don't have an ounce of that. They just wanna be slaves for the West. They don't care if they're gonna live in 1 hour a day with electricity, and they're gonna pay a kidney to get to go to the hospital, if they're gonna pay an eye to study in a university. But they just wanna be, at least I can open an OnlyFans. Oh, at least I can have a nude beach. Oh, at least I can sleep with 20 guys in the street. And that's their objective. Like, they're literally ready to give up all the resources, all the history, everything, just to be slaves, just to be called by the West, oh, here's the good guy. Like, it's been like, this war has been since 18 days. 16 days I've been coming constantly to this room, listening to them. I have heard only one, just one, who is against the IRGC, who is making logic in this war. Like, literally, I just want to hear one that has any logic. Like, there's this guy who say, 80% of the people should stop. The sanctions and the economic problem is the problem of the government. It's not the problem of the West that put these sanctions on them.
I'll try to wrap it up, please.
Okay, just less than 30 seconds and I'll finish.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. So, like, you put everything that's caused by the West on the Iranian people as a blame on the Iranian government, and you don't even condemn the killing and the massacre that happens to your own people. And yes, Velvet, many Iranians were dancing in the streets in Europe, in America, about this war, about the killings, about everything. Yes, there was many Iranians. Or you're saying that they are not Iranians, then I'm gonna ask you, who are they? Are they Israelis? Because you sure go along with the same ideology and the same excuses to kill kids and to kill civilians. Thank you.
You're absolutely right, Ilhal. We had a few people here, like in the beginning of the war and before the war, actually. And when I think Amir asked someone, why do you want the West to attack your country? He was like, I want to be able to watch porn and drink beer, and I want the Iranian girls to wear bikinis. I mean, that's it. You want... he was serious. I swear to God, he was serious. He wants the West to come and bomb his country, bombard his country, kill his people, like what happened in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Yemen, in Libya, and all those countries, just so he can watch porn freely and drink beer. I mean, he's pathetic, and he's not young. He's like a full grown man.
If your problem is like Bangladesh, if your problem in watching porn, I have a good VPN I can recommend to you, and you can watch porn freely.
Yeah, please do. They might change their mind. I don't know.
Yeah. You don't need to destroy your country for porn.
Exactly. Thank you, Khal. Who's next? I think Ali. Ali, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Hi.
Basically, I'm going to quickly address few of the points, misinformation while they've made, and continue with the breaking down how the perspective of the imposed aggression of the epic period. What he says has got some truth in it, but it's not the full picture. He's trying to fool and wash this part of the Iranian population which are participated in this aggression and basically legitimize it. If you look at Iraq war, if you remember the speeches was given in 1991, Saddam Hussein was putting babies in incubators and, weapons of mass destruction. These are the same people, The same thing with Libya, you remember that, or even you can go to Yemen, people who made a statement for, other countries, Westerners, even some Arab navies to, enter the war in Yemen and impose that war. These are same kind of people. They lost plot. And even trying to reason with them is a pointless waste of breath. So I move on. With the facts and figures they gave is shady, and you can easily. It's not even worth wasting your breath, easily checking them up and realize what is the meaning of the coup. Anytime anybody higher up equals downfall upwards uses a military force to seize power which were taken away or nothing being in that position of power by using military force, taking them over is a coup. See, but their version of coup is a special one. It requires a new, style of specifics in the delusional mind. You won't be able to get through. The good news is they are a minority in the region. The good news is they haven't got no place, as the brother who was speaking prior to me. I cannot announce his name. Al-Sad, Brother Al-Sad pointed out. These are the minority people in the region and they have no place in the region. All of the huff and puff about is waste of breath to go on, to be wasted for nonsense, worthless people. Going back to the war, we are at the 18th day of the war. As it's becoming clear, there is no winners in this war. Nobody's going to walk out as a winner. Certainly not the United States. Iran has lost big. There's no doubt about it. We have lost devastated country. Many of our people have been decimated and massacred. Going forward is what we need as a region, as a people of the world. We need to look forward to be able to, expose and not allow these, what's the right word? I don't know, I'm short of the word, so it's not be offendable. These kind of delusional people that say retarded, or be able to play roles in other people's capitals and fulfill the puzzle for military aggression on other countries, on their own country, mother country, or any other countries. This is what we as a Western society and American people should look forward to, how to disable these disables, mentally disables, not allowing them to play a role. I'm not saying not allowing them of freedom of speech or freedom of exercise of what their rights are. What I'm saying is be able to affect them, so expose them, or take the ability away to play the puzzle which they play in every aggressive war and genocidal war which is being played on. I gave you many examples. Iraq was the most famous one, when the lady was saying, Saddam was saying, putting babies in incubators, making things up, or there was this chemical weapon lab and Colin Powell. You can see the video. Colin Powell in the Security Council is bringing up a little jar saying, piece of glass, oh, this is that nuclear. And Saddam.
I mean, Saddam, did he use chemical weapon against his people?
Okay,
or not?
do not interrupt, please. Let him finish. And Ali, try to wrap it up, Ali. Go ahead, please. Yeah.
You know, here battering with delusional retards, it ain't achieving anything as Westerners for us. We need, like the Amir says, be paying the cost, whatever it is, in the tax dollars or even affecting on petrol pump, is what we need to, as a Westerners, play the role in to make sure going forward we take away the right of these people to hijack the foreign policy of the country which you are at as an American or Canadian. And finally, this war, from looks of it, since there is no exit strategy, you know, as you can see, could play on for at least a month, because he's asking, as I can understand, you know, the retard Bozo himself, Mr. Trumpo, he's asking the Europeans and NATO to engage in this war and start carrying out logistics, and because the logistical problems US military are facing, or even get involved in it. Any involvement of Europeans or any other nation will take months in organizing. So at least we got another month this is going on. And I got news for Westerners, as Americans. Look, we're going to get affected from looks of it. So we better come up with a solution. We'll be able to take away the place or power from the delusional retardeds, which let us lay the groundwork for the country's foreign policy to be hijacked.
Thank you, Ali.
Jay, it's my turn, right? Fine.
Yeah, go ahead, Taco.
Okay, I'm not going to mention anyone in this room, but I'd like to do a little, little acting here, a little impersonation of some of the people in this room. Their how, like their wet dream, how they think this whole thing should go down. Okay, this is Moshtaba Khamenei giving Bibi Netanyahu a call. Okay, here goes. Hello, how are you? Bibi, my good friend. Listen, I know that we attacked you first, even though your missus attacked us first. No, we attacked you because we were saying death to Israel, death to America. Okay, you are 100% right, okay? And, you know, because... you know, we are such big cocks, not cock with the O-U, cock, C-U-C-K, yes. We're just going to go to Dubai, okay, and leave this country for you guys, okay? Because we started this war. Even though you attacked us, unfortunately, our bodies were in the way of your missile. And so, in reality, we got in the way, so we start war, okay? Iran counter fake news. That is a leftist propaganda. You were not selling missiles to us to fight Iran. No. That is all fake news, okay? Yes, we attacked you first, so let me know which butt cheek you want me to open first, right butt cheek or left butt cheek. So you can fuck me, motherfucker. Like I want to be fucked, okay? So, yeah, this is it, and we will go, and you let me know what time I should go and what time Reza Pahlavi should come. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Taco. That was good.
Taco literally summarized the way that they think.
That's literally what you guys sound like to us when you keep arguing. You know, like that's what we're hearing. I know you think you're making like logical points, but that's what you're sounding.
I don't understand why they don't just leave the country. As if you say, you can't come to the United Nations. They're gonna be like, okay, cool, yeah, let's go and pack our bags and grab an Air France trip out of here. What are you guys? I want to know where you guys get your hashish. because I want to smoke it. I want to have your level hubris. I want to have your level chutzpah. Okay? Muzzle talk.
Before fucking your mom, I'm gonna take a shit. Your mom has open her legs. When your mom open her legs, I can be a
65-year-old man. Talking like a 12-year-old. You're a 65-year-old man. You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit.
Come on, guys.
Hey, come on. When you step on this stage,
That's all, you know.
HPA stands for micropenis. Micropenis. HPA.
Okay, guys, come on, guys. Okay, HBA, I don't know what's your name. Please don't interrupt anyone. Taco, do you still have anything to finish or let it?
No, I just hope Milikowski's dead and Kosanani HBA.
Come on,
I sent him down, I had to, sorry. Okay, so who's next, guys? I'm here.
Yes. Hello, guys. Choban. Yes. I come to talk with Velvet, you know. I just want to mention something. 1 month ago, Velvet, do you know me? Do you recognize me, Velvet? Yes. One month ago, we were in a room. You remember? We talked a lot, lots of pro-Reza Pahlavi there, you know. And yes. I told all the people begging for a USA attack, and I say it's not the solution. You remember? And I say it's going to make the regime stronger, you know. And it's typical Reza Pahlavi. They all insulting me. They say they insulting my mother and father, but still you can see, you know. I say these people are delusional. It's not going to Venezuela scenario. You remember? And still we're here. I must still stand on my point. You people just make the regime stronger right now. You know, this is the thing, and you take back the revolution even more back. You know, if people want to protest that day, maybe after 2 years they can't come back. But right now, you guys put the revolution 5 years, 10 years after that, you know. And this is going to same, you know. I told you, these people don't going to give up, you know. You remember? They're not going to give up. And I'm still on my point, you know. There is two options. First, Tehran become like Gaza, but still the people are in tunnel or somewhere, but they don't give up, you know. Or as I can see now, Iran have so many progress on the battlefield. So this is also make the regime stronger. So at the end, you people are wrong about it, you know. This is all we want to talk to you, you know. We want to say we also want a regime change, but this is not a solution. At the beginning, I told you. I'm telling you, this is not a solution, you know. And the way now you see in the paper, you know, all the Iranian people say, "Oh, if America attack after tomorrow, we all come to the street." You know, this is all the people of Iran thinking. Now it's the opposite. All the pro-regime in the street under the bombard, you know, and the pro-Reza Pahlavi, they are dancing in the street. This is the difference between you and these people. I don't like these people, of course. I'm not defending IRGC. I hate IRGC. But this is the difference between you people and these people in IRGC. They under the bombard, but you're dancing in the street. If there is a fight, you know, the border is open. All the buses and all the police is gone, why not take a ticket? Why dancing in the street? This is the thing, you know. At the beginning, when I'm saying, I meant to this. These people don't give up, and foreign attack is not a solution. And end up with the destroy Iran and nothing change. That's it.
Well, thank you for having a sane mind and a sound ability to reason, Amir.
Thank you, Amir. Who's next? Who's on the queue, guys? Anyone wants to speak?
I think I was on the queue.
Velvet. Yeah, Velvet is next. Gev, I don't think he. Gev, do you want to say something? No, okay. So, Velvet, can I ask first, what do you mean by that red chili pepper that you sent me?
Yeah. It means
I want to understand. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying I'm hot or something. Okay, go ahead, Velvet.
Yeah, so, Amir, I do remember you, and in all honesty, brother, they were insulting you, and you were also insulting them, but thank you for having a respectful conversation. So, the first point, again, I want to address you and also Janet and the other Armenian girl who left the room. These people who claim that, no, we don't support IRGC, but the war is not the solution, they're hypocrites. Because right now we don't have the statistics, right, about the casualties of the people, and, obviously the infrastructure has been damaged by a far extent, but the responsibility obviously is for the region. But the point is, for the 12-day war, we do have these statistics. During the 12-day war, only I don't mean only, I'm not minimizing anything. My point is 1,200 people got killed, most of whom were the military commanders and the killers of the IRGC. But just during the 8th and 9th of Janet, I hope you are in the room. Just in 2 days, even the state itself, the regime itself acknowledges that they have killed 3,000 people. The real number is much higher. You know that. I know that. Everyone knows that.
80,000.
So it is such a hypocrisy, to say, these people are against war because, they are too much concerned about the casualties. And the other point that I really don't get a response is that what agency and authority did we ever have for this war? Our agency was taken away from us by this regime just the day that the revolution happened. I mean, look at the constitution. The supreme leader has all the policy-making authorities. Even Khamenei, I'm quoting him, he once said a few years ago that the Secretary of State, Foreign Minister, doesn't have any authority in policy-making. The policy is being made at the, leader level, and the Foreign Minister just operationalizes it. Okay, that's the point. So if anyone is to be blamed of this war, it is the Islamic regime. Janet, you are not Iranian, you have not lived in Iran, you don't know the desperate and misery that people are feeling, how desperate they are on the ground. In summers, multiple hours a day, there are water outages, power outages. The economy is at its condition. The weather is polluted. Women, don't get me started about women rights, the fact that if you dare to criticize the supreme leader, you could be punishable by death, because insulting the supreme leader could be considered as fighting with Allah. So my point is, such a regime which saw that we have such dire issues regarding water outages, all those things, were not ready to give up their nuclear ambitions, and they were happy to bring this war to Iran. And even now, they're not, laying down their weapons. No, I'm not naive. I know they won't do that. Taco, when I say that they should, anyone who is concerned about war, they should address the regime rather than us. My point is, if I do not expect them to lay down their weapons. I am saying, why are you blaming us? I personally didn't grant any permission to anyone. Yes,
Who's blaming? Hold on, Velvet. When you say why are you? Who's you in this?
No, not me.
The regime
I mean,
or anti-war people. Who are you? Who's you in that?
I mean the opposition of the regime. 80% of Iranian people who oppose the regime. Obviously, all of 80% do not support the war necessarily, of course. So people like yourself, people like Amir, you do not support the war, but you oppose the regime. I acknowledge that. But my point is, who granted this permission?
I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you, but if really 80% of Iranians oppose the regime, and Iran is able to fight America and Israel until today, with what, like 20%?
Of course, even
it's amazing.
They are not to be honest. They are able to.
They must have angels with them fighting. Go ahead.
No. They don't need agents. Even with 5%. Give me 30 seconds, Faya, if I may.
Sure.
2 points. First, even if you ask Taco and Hadi in this room, I believe they have some honesty, especially Taco. Okay. Even if you ask them, I really don't think they would give you a higher percentage. But if they do, I would give up anything that I have said. Okay. But the point is, even 20% is too much. Even if they have 5% support, it would suffice because simply people have no weapon. People are empty-handed, but the regime has all the weapons.
But we're talking about
the whole population
versus the Americans and Israelis.
The whole population is 90 million, and 20% of it is 18 million. And I don't give up. I don't make up the number. I'm referring to the survey that was conducted by Gaman Institution two years ago. And by the way, 80% of Iranian people, based on that survey, which is very technical and scientific, oppose the regime, and only 10% of people are hardline supporters of the regime. So even the support is less than 20%.
Well, but can I ask you something?
Last point. Just last point. Just imagine this regime that is resisting against the two most.
It's okay, guys. Let him finish his point, and then
Sophia, imagine such a regime that is even resisting the two most powerful armies around the world, United States and Israel. Imagine how naive it is to argue and suggest that empty-handed Iranian people should topple the regime by themselves. And we have tried. Look at our fight with this regime since 1999. What options did we have that we didn't take? We did everything. Yeah, but we were not successful. The response was always bullets and guns.
Okay, guys, let him just finish. Did you finish your point? That's it?
I mean, he had 30 seconds. He had his 30 seconds.
No problem. Yeah, before you go on, Tiger, let's just hear Amir wanted to say something.
Yes, I just want to ask you, Velvet, address to last month's our conversation. We talk about the fact, we talk about solution. Remember, I'm saying the war is not solution. You said the war is solution. You remember? So now you have a war. Now what you want, you get it. I'm saying right now, after 2 weeks is the war going, what is your solution now? Forget about the past. Forget about the regime is killing people. We all know this. What is your solution? This is what I want to know. You have the war now, yes? What is your solution? Because right now, when you see on the paper or on the country, so many pro-regime on the streets against what you wish, and you see there is so many patriotism also in Iran is going on right now. There is no immigration. So many people even come back to country to defend the country, and you can see literally now in the Khark, island Khark, there is so many people try to get a ticket and go to the Khark to defend it, and there is no ticket even. There is so chaos right now because all want to go and defend the Khark. I'm just forget about the past. The regime is evil. We all know. What is your solution now? You have the war. What is your solution?
Okay, go ahead.
I never said the war is the solution. I said it is the only option. Okay, that has remained. But anyway, what is the solution right now? The solution, I think, is that Reza Pahlavi asked the army, Artesh, turn their weapons to the IRGC. There will be some violence, and it is unavoidable, inevitable. But that's the only solution, I think. But the war was needed to have some sort of equalizing factor to the ground. And also,
it's
you know,
never
the
going
narrative
to
that you're
happen.
saying.
It's never going to happen. Let me interrupt.
It will, but
it's never going.
IRGC
never going to surrender. What are you talking about? Talk about the
they never will.
No, talk about your people, the people who said we want to war, we want to go on.
No, I didn't say it about IRGC. I said army. Army has the weapon, right? And they are not.
No, they're not giving up. They are fighting now with Israel and America.
No, they're not. There are multiple footages, you know, evidences that are coming up that, you know, they're resisting to obey the orders of the higher ranking commanders.
Velvet, are you serious? You don't know about the Iranian IRGC now cheering. They cheering their victory. They destroy all American bases. They attack. What are you talking about? They should give up. They are in victory side. What are you talking about?
No, they are not. No, I mean, have you seen today's videos in Charshamba Suri? How many people are cheering as opposed to what IRGC asked them? IRGC
that doesn't mean they're winning the war. That's not what war is about. Not about people dancing, cheering.
This is you. No, the country. You know, we talk about the country. The country at the moment. You know, when we say all the people against the government. So who is the people now in the? Who are these people? If all people,
AI.
I don't know who is these millions of people. I don't understand. If they only attack Iranian, why does the USA military bases destroy? And you say, oh, they are running away? This does not make sense, man.
By the way, Amir, just to add on your point, brother. For the past 2 days, the Iranian missiles have been entering Israel and bombing it without any siren being activated.
Because they destroy all the radar.
Because there is no more radar in all of the region.
Yes, because they are. I know inside of Iran what's going on. They say we definitely achieve victory. You know, not the people, the IRGC people. And you say you should turn the weapon down? What is going on? No. And talk about the people, please. You say the pro-Pahlavi people are waiting to come up. Please say
I'll come back to you, Amir. I'll come back to you. Let's just go back to the queue, and I'll to you. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you.
Me? You're welcome. Yeah, go. I mean, Tiger was on the queue, but Tiger, can you allow Lucer to speak? She has a point she wants to share.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So,
go ahead.
Responding to Velvet, again, if you remember, I said it is not my place to say what Iranian people need. You know, you guys have to decide what you need, and I believe in Iranians. This is why I mentioned the history, how strong Iranians are. You guys are warriors. This is for thousands and thousands of years. And this is also why I mentioned this, that this war was not an answer. We, United States or Israel, is not dealing with Ukraine. It's not Iraq. It's not Afghanistan. This is Iran, okay? This is why I mentioned. And so this war is not going to end like the others we've seen. This is Iran. And also, if you remember, or if you know the history, going back to when Islamic Republic was established at first, you still had anti-Islamic Republic people in power that could have stopped it. But what happened? The Iraq and Iran war happened, right? 1980. What happened then? That's when the Islamic Republic became stronger in Iran, because they went and fought, because the survival mode kicked in Iran. And they established this is what's going to happen again, and this is what's happening again. Because for Iran, for people, and this is what happens when a country is attacked, survival mode kicks in. And guess what? The government is not going to give up. And people will not, I just don't see it happen. And this is going to become bigger.
You know, every Armenian I've heard speak on this app understands at the same level as we do.
It's just us own Iranians, you know? We're the ones that are stabbing ourselves in the back. Every Armenian who's a Christian, not even a Muslim, sits there and looks at the atrocities of Israel and the destabilization they've done in the region. And they're like, what are you guys doing cheering for that? You know, you've got Gev, I got Lutvik, and now we got Lucid. They say the same exact thing.
Also, we went through this a few years ago, we had the Velvet Revolution, whatever. Afterwards, all these years, for 30 years, right, we were being told, Armenians, through our yellow journalism, oh, this is what the government is doing, the oligarchy government is doing. Later, after the revolution, the so-called revolution, okay, because it was not done by the people, it really wasn't. There were studies done by universities like Yale and stuff, that the perception of corruption was way bigger than the actual corruption. And I'm not saying the Iranian people have no, God knows I'm not saying that they have no reason to dislike their government or the atrocities or whatever. I cannot say that. I'm not there. I don't know. But just think about it for a second. The perception of corruption in Armenia was way bigger than the actual corruption.
Okay, thank you,
Lucifer, I wanted to ask a couple, maybe one or two questions. Lucifer, sorry, do you think that Iran can win the war against America and Israel?
It's no, sir, not Lucifer.
Oh, no, sorry. I apologize.
What's the question?
The question is, do you think Iran can win the war against America and Israel?
Listen, what I've noticed is if United States doesn't have an objective in this war, Iran does. Iran's objective is to end this war. This is what I see right now.
No, I know whatever you see, but I'm saying they do have an objective. My question to you: do you think that Iran can win war against, or hold it down for another, couple weeks without, complete destruction? Because you know how they threatened Gaza. So my question to you: do you think that can Iran hold it down for another week or 2 weeks?
Yes, I think so. If you're asking another week or 2 weeks, yes, definitely you can.
Okay.
Because I think again, given the history with the West, I'm not for any you guys are calling, some Iranians are calling the Islamic Republic a terrorist state, whatever it is. I'm not for a government that people don't want. I just want that to be clear. However, given the history between Iran and the West, this is what Iran was preparing for.
And we're talking about
right?
Yeah. So just like you brought up that defense mode and this and that, the survival mode, I agree. A lot of these people, especially Reza Pahlavi supporters, they're deluded. Even some of the centrists, they want this war to continue. So I do believe that at this moment, I don't know. I think they should for the time being, they should side with anybody that's willing to defend their honor, which is their country, their assets and stuff. They probably their families and whatnot. If they their life, and some of these people that live outside of Iran, and they talk as oh, it's all right, we can oppress them because I live in Germany. I mean, you have people, I'm not gonna name any. Actually, I'll name it. Velvet wants more sanctions on his own people. Mother Jinne, just calm down, Mother Jinne.
So Amir Tiger is on the queue, and after Tiger, it's I forgot.
I just want to say comment. I think Iran can stand 2 years, 3 years.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Amir. Go on, Tiger.
Tiger and then Mo.
Sure. Go on,
Just
Tiger.
saying, as a Chinese person who didn't know so much about Iran, like earlier, I learned quite a lot, but I wasn't a person that made any assumptions about Iran, right? China has a history of also being vilified by the West. So had our traders tell the West that how many people are being massacred and so on, I'm discrediting the Iranian statements, right, or overseas Iranians, their claims. I'm just saying, as a Chinese person, I'm skeptical of all the such information. So I made no assumptions. When the bombing started, the first thing I was doing was checking with actual Iranians who actually lived in Iran to see how much.
Dude, I'm Persian myself, and I am Iran myself. Shut the fuck up. You Chinese bastard.
Shut your mouth. Racist bastard, sit in the audience.
There's a strong correlation of Pahlavi supporters and mental health issues.
Oh yeah.
So
go on, Tiger. Continue.
The first time when the bombing
just be careful. Don't bring people up with 0 or 2 followers. Okay.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, I brought him up, the idiot. I'm just letting everybody know. All right, go on.
Well, anyway, the first thing that I did after the bombing started was to ask actual Iranians about, on the street, do we see people coming out? Because I think that was the indicator of whether this regime was surviving Iran. And actually, the information I got was they were small celebrations from here to there, but overall the people were, anti-invasion, and people came out strongly to support their government fighting back, right? That's the information and the events that unfolded afterwards was that the Iranian resistance still goes on, and it goes on strongly, right? It puts America and Israel in a difficult position. And there is no sign of that relenting. So I think those are indicators, right? So it's wrong for anybody to try to assume what the Iranians actually want. The Iranians and the history will always tell us what the Iranians actually want. And it's true that people like Velvet, his agency is taken away by the RGC, probably, if he actually lived there. But it's not true that he can speak for all of Iran. And the people's choice in Iran will manifest itself in their struggle against an invasion such as this, right? So all we have to do is to not make any assumptions and not to be delusional. And don't believe that your opinion is higher than the will of a nation, because that's not how history works. If you keep thinking like that, you're going to end up on the wrong side of history.
Hey, can I say something really quick? They have no history to be on the wrong side.
Yes, hang on a second. So the mic was on Tiger, and who was going next?
It was me, but should go Al-Khal.
No, brother.
Go more, because I want to give it to a new person. I think this just came up. Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just want to. I'll go ahead.
Hold on, Daniel. Hold on. No, you go first, and then Daniel.
Okay, thank you. But guys, over the course of last 15 days, you see how this La La Land that these Pahlavi supporters are picturing for us. Pahlavi comes. But when we press more and dig deeper, the solution was Iranian army has to take up gun and start a civil war in Iran in order to facilitate to Pahlavi to come, and this 80% of Iranians who are pro-Pahlavi are going to come. It's guys, I really genuinely asking Velvet, honestly, who is your drug dealer and what you take? I really am jealous at the moment with the amount of garbage that your brain is kind of mixed with. I think broccoli has more connections in its cells than your brains, because it's so frustrating to talk with you. It's just a Groundhog's Day. Every day we start over and you start over with your garbage about what is the solution, and you come up with a civil war. This is the solution. If Pahlavi has 80% supporters, why Pahlavi is not back in a flight to Tehran? Guys, you and your stupid dream, setback, pursuit of prosperity, political freedom, and better life for Iran with this stupid war for at least a decade. You set back that for a decade. You martyred Ayatollah Khamenei. You immortalized the picture of the Iranian leader. Another historical fact. You know who was the last king of Iran died in Iran? Muzaffar ad-Din Shah. Ayatollah Khamenei is the first guy since 120 years ago. Not even dying in the bed, being martyred by an aggressor in its own country. So what are you talking? Where do you consume? What do you consume? And where this type of information, where is the source of the information you are gathering? You are totally lost, guys.
Yep. I think we should bring. Kay, did you want Daniel? Go on, Daniel.
Okay, so I just looked at the title of the room, and I didn't know that Trump wanted to do a ceasefire, but I looked it up, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it. So before I really start talking, can you guys kind of update me on that a little bit more?
Sure. So Iran did a block on the Strait of Hormuz, right? That affects a lot of these countries, and there's the what's the name of the land? I forgot the name of the land where Trump bought. What's the name of the land? What is it called? Hot. It's he bombed this one place in Iran, which it hasn't destroyed all of its infrastructure. It only destroyed the military base over there. And he did give warning to the Iranian government that if you don't allow any of our things or any of our ships through that Strait of Hormuz, we are going to bomb the shit out of Iran, right? So what Iran did, they started allowing a lot of ships in there now, except for anything to do with America and Israel. So if any of these GCC countries allow their military base to be used to fire rockets on Iran, they would not be allowed. So now a lot of the European countries, they're putting this big question mark in front of the U.S. Like, I thought the U.S. was supposed to protect us. Even the GCC Gulf countries, they've invested a lot of money in American economy. And American economy, if they were to pull out all of this money, billions and billions of dollars, yeah, we will go through recession, not depression, sorry, recession. And the other issue is if they don't allow the oil to get past that, it's about 20% of world's oil that goes through the Strait of Hormuz. And if it turns into a problem, if people don't use petrodollars anymore to trade oil, that's gonna we're gonna have inflation in America. Can you imagine the dollar you have in your pocket? It would worth like 5 cents on a dollar.
By the way, I want to ask you, American people who lives in America, a question, because I saw a video that says that everything, like the prices of everything, literally everything has gone 5 times more. Is that true? Yeah. Especially gas prices right now.
It's not 5 times more. It's almost.
It's not not yet, Elko, but in the place that I live.
I saw a video that says like this product was, for example, 80 cents or $1, and now it's $5. It's on an American platform. That's why I'm asking. Like,
how long was it ago? Like, are you talking about the last 5 years? Okay. So right now, the gas prices right here where I live in Los Angeles. It has gone up to about $5.50 a gallon, and so it was about 4. So it has already gone up by $1.50.
I'm not talking about oil. I'm talking about like bread, cereal, these things.
No, the only thing that's gone up that much is like eggs.
Yeah, that's what it happens in the video.
Yeah, that eggs and it happens on milk as well every once in a while, where the farmers are not able to produce, or because of the weather, because of drought. It used to happen a lot in California. By the way.
If you want, Amir, I can send it. I can send it to you in private because it's on Telegram on an Arabian platform. and you can check the video out if it's valid or.
No, I trust you. I trust you. So Daniel, now Trump wants to do a ceasefire because he's